Chapter 475. Perhaps because of the resentment of the people in Maple Leaf City, the Wacken nourished by Cyan Little Fox's elixir in her pubic region is instantly sucked out before Lin Luoran can finish appreciating the thunder she attracts. She feels sweet in her throat. There are signs of recurrence of her injury. The loss outweighs the gain. Every character with great power really needs Wacken to support it. Lin Luoran doesn't dare to try other characters. She covers her face with a cup and sleeps. The next day, she wakes up with weak feet. Cyan Little Fox's face is as black as ink. It feels that Lin Luoran doesn't cherish the fruits of its labor. What's more unacceptable is that she hurts her own body. Lin Luoran deeply reviews her mistakes. She repeatedly promises that she will never try again before she recovers. Cyan Little Fox raises its head and walks into the basement. It is going to refine an elixir for this troublesome Linny. Lin Luoran is helpless. She can't practice characters. She can only meditate or organize space. People tend to think too much when they are idle. She can only follow the 4 young people to explore Nami Star to kill time. The midsummer of Nami Star passes. Autumn is even cooler than the earth. The leaves of the mountains around Maple Leaf City begin to turn red, reflecting the red glow of the evening. It is very interesting. Lin Luoran finishes her breathing today. Looking at the dim spirit stone in her hand, Lin Luoran's injury has stabilized. However, she still can't recover. It may have a lot to do with the interruption of gathering vitality. From ancient times to the present, even before the Tang dynasty when spells were flourishing, it was a big event for cultivators to gather vitality. Those who have a master will take good care of cultivators who are about to gather vitality. Even individual cultivators without a master will choose a secret place for gathering vitality early. The treasures collected from the beginning of personal ability enhancement will be used to ensure the cultivator's safety under Heaven's doom. Under such preparation, only the elixir can break through the vitality and the cultivator will fail. White Fairy has never heard of a cultivator who forcibly stops gathering vitality halfway. The golden elixir is on the verge of breaking. The next step should be to gather vitality after the golden elixir is broken. However, she forcibly stops. No wonder she can't recover from her serious injury. The 4 golden elixirs are even on strike and refuse to produce Wacken for her body. Although the medicinal power of the 9-tailed fox clan's pills is extraordinary, your current situation is unprecedented. You'll probably have to reach the nascent soul stage to heal your old injuries in one go. From the bearing essence period to the gathering vitality period, one's lifespan is doubled. In the process of transforming the Wacken in the body to a higher level of meta, curing old diseases is not a big deal. Besides, cultivators' bodies will tend to evolve in a more perfect direction. According to White Fairy, one of the important reasons why female cultivators look forward to the gathering vitality period is that the process of gathering vitality can correct a person's appearance. All women in the world love beauty. In White Fairy's words, people with high personal ability in the world of cultivation, no matter male or female, rarely see particularly ugly girls. Lin Luoran touches her face. She doesn't want to change her facial features. However, the gathering vitality period is a totally different existence on the road of personal cultivation. Before the Age of Chaos, only nascent soul stage cultivators had the qualifications to be called ancestor. They could call themselves this seat, and had the qualifications to be recognized by the cultivation world as the founder of a sect. For Lin Luoran, the earth-shaking changes brought by the gathering vitality period make her confident to return to the earth. Reiki and Wacken can cast spells, but Meta can cast arts of nature. Arts of nature are more deterrent than folding paper cranes. They can touch the real magical effect of the power of heaven and earth. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and feels it's time for her to go out for a walk. Everyone in the castle is against it. The reason is that she hasn't recovered from her injuries and she can't save herself in danger. Lin Luoran has no choice but to kick a big tree. Sawdust explodes from the heart of the tree. The 4 young people are speechless. I'm not as weak as you think without using Wacken, am I? A cultivator's body is nourished by Wacken day and night. She has cultivated all the way to the late bearing essence period. How can she be weak? Besides, how can I not have a weapon for self-defense? Lin Luoran finds something similar to a laser sword in the space. She took it on the Edward starship. As soon as she presses the switch, the light blade can cut through ordinary alloys. Even the beasts on the Nami star can't have copper skin and iron bones. Even if you send someone 1,000 miles away, you must say goodbye. Lin Luoran sends the 4 reluctant young people back. She carries a big backpack and goes on the road alone. In the south of the Nami star, in the hottest place of the whole planet, there is a fault zone similar to the Great Rift Valley of East Africa on the Earth. 2 gullies sink and a long ridge rises in the middle. It is the Shurjia Rift Valley, with rich species on the Nami star. Looking down from the air, 2 green belts sink. The strange landscape looks like 2 equal scars scratched by a powerful monster. It has always attracted expeditions from various planets of the Nami Alliance. It is very famous in the Nami Alliance. When Lin Luoran carries a mountaineering backpack all the way south and comes to the Shurjia Rift Valley, it has been 2 months since she set off from Maple Leaf City. Lin Luoran goes all the way south because it is at a different pole from Maple Leaf City. Maple Leaf City may be in winter at this moment. The further south Lin Luoran goes, the lush and green vegetation is very pleasant. She only chooses sparsely populated places along the way and inevitably passes many aristocratic estates. Because the Nami star advocates returning to nature, many people working in the fields are ordinary civilians instead of agricultural robots. Generally speaking, there is no exploitation. The aristocrats pay and the civilians work. They talk and laugh loudly in the wheat fields without any dissatisfaction with life. Lin Luoran thinks this is probably the reason why the social classes such as aristocrats and civilians on the Nami star do not conflict with the status quo of the high-tech society. Close to the Shurjia Rift Valley, it is no longer a fief belonging to any aristocrat. This original Rift Valley landform has been preserved in the former Interstellar War and belongs to the direct jurisdiction of the Nami royal family. The royal family is rich and invests countless money to maintain the environment every year. Although the Shurjia Rift Valley is vast, it has not been cultivated. Although sandstone accounts for most of the land, the fertile land near the river beach is still barren. Lin Luoran chooses a gentle slope and it takes her a day to get to the bottom of the canyon. It is the winter sinking star. Although there is a river running through the canyon, there is little precipitation every year. Looking up, the winter sinking star looks like a red disk and is about to hide at the other end of the mountain range. In the not-so-turbulent river, hippopotamus eyes can be seen. In the canyon, there is no dense forest. It is more like the African prairie on the Earth before the new era. The species are almost the same, but there are subtle differences. For example, the lion crawling in the forest blends with the color of the withered grass. However, it is more than twice the size of the lion she has seen before. Lin Luoran freezes. Looking at the direction of the lion's ambush, does it intend to ambush her? She glances at the grass. Her calm eyes make the lion stiff and unable to move. It actually gives up the ambush. This thing had some spirituality. Lin Luoran tightens the strap of her backpack and walks over without looking sideways. The lion lies in the grass, paralyzed and sweating. Before the mountain range swallows the last bit of light of the star, Lin Luoran sets up a tent near the water source. The tent is an outdoor product produced by the Nami Alliance. The fabric of the tent is light, but it can definitely defend against wild beasts. There are also many warning devices. There is generally no danger in sleeping in the wild. Lin Luoran travels all the way south and sees the completely different customs of the Nami star. Although it doesn't help much with her injury, she gradually blends into the Nami star on the other side of the distant starry sky. She looks at the flowers and trees under her feet. She is not a passerby, but she gains something and realizes something. Her state of mind is also different. The star sets in the winter and the glow gradually fades away. The shallows are sparkling. Long-beaked birds are fishing and eating. Lin Luoran sees the clear river and becomes interested. She sets up an iron pot and boils a pot of water. She doesn't use Wacken for the time being, but she still has her eyesight and arm strength. She breaks a branch and shoots it into the water. Two small fish of 3 or 4 inches long are skewered on the branch. The long-beaked birds are shocked at first. When Lin Luoran gets up to pick up the still struggling fish, they flutter their wings and fly away. They feel sorry that they didn't catch the fish just now. Lin Luoran removes the fish scales and intestines. She washes the fish in the shallows and throws the 2 fish into the iron pot. The most important thing to eat fish soup is freshness. In addition to onions and ginger, only natural seasonings such as mushrooms will not destroy the original taste of the fish soup. The iron pot is covered and the firewood is burning steadily. There is a slight aroma. Lin Luoran squints and waits for the food. Watching several long-beaked gulls and herons land in the shallows again, Lin Luoran sees the wonderful scenery of the setting sun, the jumping fish, and the flying birds in the Rift Valley. It is in line with her previous wish to travel the world. Lin Luoran leans against the tent and feels indescribably comfortable and peaceful. Lin Luoran estimates the time and opens the pot. The rolling heat is accompanied by a strong aroma. She extinguishes the firewood. Before she has time to taste the food, her spiritual mind, which is set up 10 miles away, moves. Someone is coming? More than one person. Lin Luoran looks at the group of embarrassed alien creatures and feels that they will not be a threat. She slowly drinks the fish soup and washes the pots and bowls in the shallows. Then there is a rustling sound in the grass. Gary, look, where are the climbers? 3 men and 2 women, 5 people come out from the direction of the mountains in the middle of the Rift Valley. Lin Luoran doesn't know what happened to them. Except for the leader who is still holding a weapon, the rest seem to have abandoned their life-saving weapons. A young girl in ragged clothes with porcelain skin and 2 lovely tentacles on her forehead is hurt by grass, leaves, and branches. Seeing Lin Luoran cleaning up the pots and bowls in the tent, she calls out to the leader in surprise. Gary is the young leader with a weapon. He is a little dissatisfied when he hears that his team member is the first to shout. However, the experience of the past few days and the embarrassment of the team members makes him, as the leader, have to come forward to chat. Chapter 476. Hey, can you get in touch with the outside world? Gary doesn't speak for a long time. The young girl with tentacles raises her neck. Because she doesn't know which planet Lin Luoran belongs to, she kindly uses the interstellar common language. However, the young girl thinks she is considerate enough. As soon as she says this, not only Gary secretly feels bad luck, but other people also feel uncomfortable. No matter what their identities are, they are asking for help now. The geomagnetic fluctuations of Shurjia Rift Valley have always been irregular, which is one of the reasons why the valley has become a holy place for exploration. Lin Luoran glances at these young people coldly. They have either encountered powerful beasts or fought with people. It seems that their equipment to contact the outside world has also been lost. However, how can someone be so arrogant when asking for help? Lin Luoran feels helpless. She is a spoiled little girl. She has no time to discipline the younger generation because she is neither a relative nor a friend. She calmly cleans up the pots and bowls. She cleans up at the river beach and washes with cold water. Lin Luoran ignores everyone and enters the tent. She puts down the curtain. The arrogant tentacle girl is so angry that her face turns blue. You are so ungrateful. Eudora. Stop it. Gary feels that his eyebrows can't stop twitching. He looks at Eudora unwillingly. He used to think that this cousin is naive, but he didn't expect that she is so stupid. It's all his fault. He shouldn't have brought her to Shurjia Rift Valley. Look at her attitude. If this were on our home planet. Eudora's voice becomes smaller and smaller under Gary's disapproving eyes. She looks aggrieved. The other 2 men in the team quickly comfort her. After a long time, Eudora stops crying and smiles. Gary originally planned to apologize to Lin Luoran solemnly. However, the light in the tent over there goes out in an instant. The other party clearly doesn't want to deal with them. Gary sighs and looks at the fatigue of the team members. Although the canyon is full of fatal danger, it is estimated that no one can walk in a hurry. After all, he has not slept for a few days and even he is about to collapse. Gary walks back to the team. There is also an open space on the other side of the stream. Let's rest on the other side tonight. Eudora is dissatisfied. Lin Luoran chooses a flat place to set up the tent. The terrain is gentle and the sand is soft. It is also comfortable to sleep at night. It was the same shallow beach, but the opposite shore was full of sand and gravel. Why did they have to go to the opposite shore? Gary ignored her and crossed the stream. He used the long knife in his hand to chop down the weeds and spread them on the gravel. Seeing that the captain did it himself, the rest of the people were embarrassed. They had no time to comfort Eudora, who was like a little princess, and hurriedly ran to help. The few of them fled all the way. If it weren't for the compressed nutrients that Gary carried with him, he didn't even know if he had the strength to run for his life, let alone sleep. Seeing fish in the shallow stream, 2 male team members, led by Gary, go into the water to catch fish. Eudora and another female team member are laying grass while complaining about Lin Luoran's indifference. Her voice is so low that she thinks only her companions can hear her. Lin Luoran laughs in the tent. She is not obliged to save them. There is no such thing in the Nami Alliance, is there? Too lazy to listen to the brainless girl's complaints, she simply flashed into the space. The 3 of Gary caught a lot of small fish. It was so noisy that the long-billed gulls and herons didn't dare to fly back to the shallow beach. When they finally made a fire, Eudora had roasted the fish until it was burnt on the outside and raw on the inside. There was no seasoning and the fishy smell was too strong. She spat it out after taking a bite. Gary, how can I eat this fish? Gary listens to his cousin's endless complaints, and his patience finally runs out. Put it down if you don't want to eat it. Don't waste food. Eudora drops the roasted fish. With tears in her eyes, she runs away with red eyes. Eudora! Captain Eudora! Gary has a headache. Thinking that the canyon is not a completely safe environment, he still chased after her. There are a few big holes in Eudora's mountaineering clothes. Mosquitoes bite her bare skin at night. Hearing footsteps, she turns her head to one side. Gary sighs and hands her a well-cooked roasted fish. Here, you have to eat it even if it is not delicious. Otherwise, you won't have the strength to escape. Eudora sniffles. Second brother, will we really escape from here? Those people killed Jenny and the others. Hearing Jenny's name, Gary looks even worse. If Eudora had not insisted on going to the cave, they would not have chased her for no reason. However, as the captain, he feels guilty for not being able to ensure the safety of his team members. Eudora doesn't know the consequences at all. How can he put all the blame on her? Yes, we will. We can leave Shurjia Canyon in one day. Besides, we can cover our traces all the way. They won't find our preparation position. Don't worry. Gary carefully picks out the fish bones. Gary is the gentle and meticulous brother again. Eudora feels that the fear in her heart has melted a lot. This time, she doesn't complain that the roasted fish is tasteless and eats it up. The temperature at night in the canyon is very low. The 5 people have no warm things, so they can only choose the primitive bonfire to keep warm. The male team members are arranged to keep watch at night. Eudora and another female team member sleep on the thick weeds. After a few days of exhaustion, they soon fall asleep. Gary looks at Lin Luoran's tent from time to time. If Eudora hadn't offended people as soon as she opened her mouth, it would have been no problem for them to borrow a tent even if they could not contact the outside world. Wild dogs are lurking in the grass half a mile away. The bonfire in front of them makes them drool. However, wild dogs are good at snatching food from the tiger's mouth. They generally won't hunt by themselves. The night is getting darker and there is a thin mist in the canyon. Their eyes are greedy, but they are still waiting patiently. Those large carnivores always can't help it. The bonfire gradually goes out, and the 2 male team members have already dozed off. Gary holds the alloy sword in his hand. It seems that he hasn't relaxed his attention. He has been alert to the movement around him, including the movement of the tent on the other side of the river. Gary will not easily trust any stranger. What is Lin Luoran doing when these poor nobles are eating the stinky roasted fish? She is sitting under a lychee tree, peeling this kind called Concubine's Smile, one by one while sorting out her collection. Speaking of which, she is really poor as a cultivator in the late bearing essence period. She has no defense at all. If she really wants to gather her vitality, according to White Fairy, Lin Luoran will be struck by thunder. Can't I hide in space when I gather my vitality? Lin Luoran looks at her private manor. It should be the safest and most secret space. White Fairy glares at her. Lin Luoran is a woman, but she still feels numb all over. She shivers. White Fairy is amused by her materialism. Without the test of thunder, how can the Wacken in your body be converted into meta? People in the gathering vitality period used to be called immortals on the earth. They are above the sky and below the ground. If you hide, you can't pass this hurdle for the rest of your life. Sure enough, the Tao of nature is not so easy to fool. Lin Luoran takes out all the things she has saved. It is very difficult to refine a real defensive magic weapon. Not to mention that she is short of materials now. Even if she doesn't lack materials, she can't do anything about it because of her injury. Hey, show me this thing. Lin Luoran picks up the female terracotta figure she stole from Mount Panglai. She is a little excited. Is this a treasure? White Fairy is speechless, the one next to it. Next to the female terracotta figure, there is a blue jade pendant. White Fairy looks at it for a long time. Hearing that Lin Luoran got it from a mermaid, she is sure about it. She feels that Lin Luoran is so lucky. It is a waste for you to gather vitality. It is said that it can even be used in Heaven's Doom of the divinization period. Lin Luoran picks up the blue jade and still can't see anything special about it. However, White Fairy is experienced enough to not talk nonsense. The mermaid once said that this thing can help her fight for a chance of survival in front of the rank 9 monster. If so, what White Fairy said is true. Lin Luoran is about to ask about the strangeness of this thing in detail when the warning spiritual mind she left on the grassland is touched again. Lin Luoran grabs a handful of lychees and leaves the space. Those people are really a scourge. There is a sound of rapid breathing on the other side of the river. Lin Luoran looks up and finds that the battle over there has become one-sided. Has it been taken down in such a short time? Lin Luoran sighs. She doesn't know why these young masters come to Shurjia Rift Valley. She peels a lychee and puts it in her mouth. It tastes sweet and seedless, which makes her feel refreshed. Several people on the other side of the river look at each other and fire a fireball. This kind of fireball mixed with special dyes can engulf the tent in an instant as long as it hits it. As a passerby, Lin Luoran is very dissatisfied with being shot. Chapter 477. It is the most annoying thing to be shot while lying down. It is the most immoral thing to kill a passerby. If her only tent is broken, it is said that there is plenty of rain in Shurjia Rift Valley in summer. Will she have to sleep on the grassland in the following days? Lin Luoran thinks for a while and feels that the other party is really annoying. She can't kill a chicken with a butcher knife. She pinches a lychee shell in her hand and Lin Luoran throws one at random. Before the small fireball can get close to the tent, it is hit by the lychee shell and deviates from its direction. The fireball is hit back into the water and explodes. The special dye is not extinguished by the water. It floats on the water and burns. Instead, it provides light for the sneak attack and self-rescue on the other side of the river. This is not the usual training in the school. If they lose, they will die. The blood of their companions has already made these young people understand the cruel fact. Although they are not strong enough, they are still resisting stubbornly. Gary sees that the fireball shot to the tent is knocked away. He is delighted. She dares to go deep into Shurjia Rift Valley alone. As he expected, the woman is not an ordinary person. They may still have a chance to be rescued. Gary is distracted and he is stabbed by the other party. The sword penetrates more than 2 inches into his shoulder. The other party pulls out the alloy sword and blood splashes everywhere. Gary steps back and his arm is almost cut off by another one. He used to think that Nami Star is too strict to allow private starships to enter. Now he feels lucky. If it were not for the Nami Star's overbearingness, they would not have to face cold weapons at this time. A few of the most ordinary old bullets could easily take their lives. Lin Luoran comes out of the tent. She doesn't know where the intelligent life of interstellar civilization learned the way of self-cultivation. Warriors learn body arts, which are inclined to close combat. Just like yoga on the earth, they can absorb the Reiki of heaven and earth on the surface of the planet through a set of specific movements to nourish meridians and strengthen the body. Of course, aliens have no Taoist root. They can never enter Tao by practicing martial arts for a lifetime. Scholars cultivate spirit power. It is said that people with a high level of spirit power have excellent brain development. They are not only academic and scientific talents but also have unique advantages in operating the latest starships and mecha embedded in the nervous system. More importantly, it is said that masters of spirit power have touched the threshold of the use of Reiki of heaven and earth. By using spirit power as a primer, they can have supernatural abilities such as fire, water mist, and ice wall. Because they did not have a Taoist root, they could not store spiritual energy in their abdomen and form a self-circulation. Therefore, it was impossible for the mental power practitioners to enter the Tao through their mental power and become cultivators. Lin Luoran suspected that the so-called Taoist root was the bridge between Reiki and the human body and the spiritual mind in the human body. Only by tempering the body, breaking through the spiritual mind, and storing Reiki can one embark on the path of cultivation. The pressure inside the interstellar spaceship is great. Ordinary people can't adapt to the life inside the spaceship. Practicing martial arts has become the most basic requirement for interstellar travel. Lin Luoran watches the arrogant girl being protected in the innermost part of the spaceship. At the same time, she doesn't want to believe that the arrogant girl focuses on spiritual power. Come on, she doesn't look smart. Those who practice body techniques had soft, light bodies that were filled with explosive power. It is also the first time for Lin to observe a fight of physical skills. The leading young man jumps up high and kicks a man in black's chin. Then he spins around and lands on the ground. His movement is beautiful and effective. Unfortunately, they lacked a suitable weapon. The alloy swords in the hands of others were not to be trifled with. Lin Luoran feels it is a pity that the leading young man is cut twice. She still wants to study the difference between body techniques and Huaxia ancient martial arts. Is the battle about to end? Lady, please help us. The Canberra family of Tuda Star will definitely thank you. The pride and self-esteem of nobles are indeed important. However, what's the use of nobles if they lose their lives? Gary asks for help, but the opponent attacks him more fiercely. Explorer on the other side, this isn't something you should meddle in. Leave now. A man in black says in a low voice. Lin Luoran feels helpless. Do they really think she is a fool? The background of the hunted man has been exposed. The next thing the men in black will do is to kill him. Do I look like an idiot? Lin Luoran murmurs. The leader of the other side is cut all over. If she doesn't help him, he will really die. This is so troublesome. Puff, puff, puff. Before throwing the lychee shells, Lin Luoran locks in with her spiritual mind. The major acupoints of several men in black who want to burn her tent are hit. They fall down stiffly. Gary kneels on one knee and barely props himself up with the alloy sword. The remaining 4 team members look at Lin Luoran with more fear than when facing the men in black. Come on, I am not a ferocious ghost. Considering her image, Lin Luoran doesn't roll her eyes. After eating lychee, her palms are sticky. She squats down to wash her hands in the stream. Seeing that they are still staring at her in horror, she says helplessly, "They will not move for about 7 or 8 hours. Why don't you run away?" The 5 men in black fell to the ground. Their eyes could see and their ears could hear, but they couldn't move or speak. Fear and despair that they had never experienced before enveloped them. They thought that their lives were over, but when they heard that it would only take 7 or 8 hours, they heaved a sigh of relief. Can't move for 7 or 8 hours. Gary is relieved. He manages to force a smile and then passes out. Gary! Captain, Lin Luoran's eyebrows twitch. She has a feeling that she is in trouble again. Sure enough, a cultivator in the late bearing essence period also has the potential to be a blind fortune teller. Her premonition comes true in less than half an hour. Hello, please save Gary. He has lost too much blood. If you don't treat him, he will die. The arrogant girls were not completely useless. They each offered their own clothes and tore them into strips to bandage the seriously injured young man. Unfortunately, they did not have any medicine or equipment. There was still a day's journey to get out of the canyon. If the young man did not receive treatment, he would definitely die. Why should I save him? These people stay by the stream. Do they want to force her to move? In the middle of the night, Lin Luoran wants to drive them away coldly. She scans the young man with her spiritual mind and finds that he is really close to death. Lin Luoran is definitely not a good person. She just hates girls crying in front of her. Tears are really a woman's best weapon. Lin Luoran is annoyed by the crying of the arrogant girl from the Tuda Star. Lin Luoran crosses the stream. The young man is called Gary by his companions. The tentacles on his head are lying limply and his lips are pale and weak. Lin Luoran looks at the terrible bandage. She doesn't know if these useless young masters and daughters have the consent of their families to come to Shurjia Rift Valley. She pulls out a few hard grass stalks in the grass and uses the grass as needles to seal several major acupoints on Gary's body. Except for pubic region and ocean of Reiki, the meridians of these aliens are almost the same as those of Earthlings. Lin Luoran has a trace of doubt. Is it inevitable that the evolution of intelligent creatures tends to be similar, or is it possible that the people of interstellar civilization all belong to the same origin? Whether it is the meridians or the appearance, they are too similar. After stopping the bleeding, Lin Luoran looks around the nearby grass. Within 10 meters, she finds a few Panax nodo ginseng and some dandelions. She doesn't have any medicine at hand. She can find Chinese medicinal materials casually so as not to expose her space. She crushes the tuber of Panax nodo ginseng and applies it to Gary's wound. This thing is good for hemostasis. She is not afraid that the wound will burst open halfway. Here, the tuber of this plant can stop bleeding. The root of this plant can reduce inflammation. You need to boil water to take it. You just need to make sure. These two herbs can be seen everywhere in the wilderness. The trouble is that you don't have utensils. I only have a bowl. Take it. Eudora holds the two herbs tightly in her hands. Plants can be refined into medicine. It is an old story thousands of years ago. She doesn't doubt the efficacy of the medicine. Lin Luoran gives a bowl of fish soup to the dispirited expedition team members and tells them to go quickly. When the men in black can move, they won't be able to get out of the canyon. A young man puts Gary on his back. Eudora thanks Lin Luoran and says goodbye. She asks Lin Luoran's name several times. Lin Luoran doesn't want to talk to such a troublesome person. Eudora says quickly, "We found them in the mountains. Stop." Lin Luoran looks at Eudora's puzzled eyes. She points to the men in black and sighs, "They are still listening here. If you tell me the secret, won't you force me to kill them? Otherwise, I will be killed by them." Eudora blushes and says sorry. The four of them carry Gary out of the canyon. The men in black can't speak or move. They can only roll their eyes desperately. Lin Luoran is amused. "I didn't hear your secret. Don't worry. I won't kill you. Of course, if you have to come and disturb my journey, humph. 7 hours. Even if the expedition team composed of rich young masters crawls, they can still keep a distance from the boss. Except for the canyon, they can communicate normally without interference. Lin Luoran pats the shoulders of the men in black. They are so scared that they hold their breath. Lin Luoran turns around and packs up the tent to leave. After the fight here, there is a strong smell of blood. People can't sleep well. How can she rest? She seemed to have subconsciously forgotten how attractive a few immobile assassins were to the pack of wild dogs that were lurking in the surroundings. Lin Luoran carries the mountaineering bag and disappears into the night. A passenger starship lands on the outskirts of Maple Leaf City. Among the passengers, there is an inconspicuous old man with a pug nose. His old eyes are turbid. At first glance, people can tell that he is a poor man from a backward planet. Naturally, no one wants to talk to him. However, the old man with a pug nose has no eyes at all. After entering the city, all the beautiful women are stopped by him and pestered in the name of inquiring about distant relatives. Mrs. Susan goes to visit friends and comes back. She encounters the same pestering. This young lady looks very familiar. Chapter 478. Derek looks at the old man with a pug nose in front of him and sneers, "You mean she is your distant niece?" He can't tell if she is his niece or not. This photo is really old. The old man with a pug nose straightens his back and rolls his eyes. "Do you think we don't look alike? I said she is my distant niece. As for the blood relationship, it is a bit distant. Alas, I come here rashly. I don't know if she still remembers me as her uncle." Hearing the gloomy tone of the pug nose, Derek is still scrutinizing, and Mrs. Susan has been wiping her tears frequently. The story of an old man who came alone from afar to look for his relatives, and he was also an old man with one foot in the grave, was enough to arouse Lady Susan's sympathy. "Derek, can you ask for him?" Derek's face is dark and the little freckles on his nose are particularly eye-catching. He is now the person in charge of the barbecue restaurant. In Maple Leaf City, he is the only one who knows where Lin Luoran and others are. The question is that the man with a pug nose who claims to be Mississippi Lin's uncle finds Mrs. Susan at once. Is it a coincidence or someone with ulterior motives? Derek gets in touch with the manor and the reply is that he doesn't know if Lin Luoran has an uncle. None of the young people in the castle knows about Lin Luoran's family. The four young people still attach great importance to the man who claims to be Lin Luoran's uncle. Without the wretched temperament, the pug nose still looks like a master. In the video call, he vaguely talks about Lin Luoran's origin. Although he looks like an alien, even the siblings of the Ma family are somewhat convinced. Aunt Lin's uncle is here. What should they call Aunt's uncle? The seniority is really messy. The pug nose is taken into the manor and occupies the largest room in the castle. One day, the cyan little fox comes out of the basement. Its neck is twisted by someone. An old man's face is magnified in front of the cyan little fox. His red and swollen nose is shining. He also covers the cyan little fox's mouth. "Hey, have you been to the Green Mountains?" The cyan little fox recognizes for a moment and then it scratches and bites at the pug nose, struggling fiercely. "Why are you still alive?" Damn it, this man obviously has no personal ability at all. How can he live for 3,000 years without dying? The pug nose is triumphant. "Die? I don't want it. I still need Linny to take care of me when I'm old." The cyan little fox spits on his face. This man is still so shameless after thousands of years. Walking in the valley, Lin Luoran doesn't know that she has a distant uncle. She has been in Shurjia Rift Valley for a month. She keeps company with zebras and watches elephants shake water with their trunks. The scenery that could only be seen in documentaries is now in front of her. The setting sun on the grassland was spectacular, and the early morning on the grassland was full of vitality. After leaving Mount Punglai, this is the first time for Lin Luoran to travel on foot in peace. She once picked up a fallen nut from a tree and smashed it with a stone. The flesh inside was dry and bitter, making her tongue feel tasteless for most of the day. She has tasted a kind of wild vegetable which is said to only grow in Shurjia Rift Valley and is loved by the Nami nobles. Well, she really can't appreciate the taste of the nobles. That kind of wild vegetable grows near the river beach. It is fat, tender and delicious. It is not as chewy as the bracken on the earth. Shepherd's purse, bitter cabbage, bracken, water shield, purslane, plantain, dandelion. Countless rural delicacies make her think of Lee's village hundreds of years later, and she doesn't seem to hate it so much. Most of the time, Lin Luoran picks up a few bird eggs and catches a few fish and shrimps to make a meal. She doesn't sleep in the open. She never feels wronged. It seems that the food she eats is simple, but in fact, it is much better than that of other expeditions. Lin Luoran has met several groups of expeditions along the way. Some of them are just fooling around, and some of them are real climbers. No matter which kind they are, after the first encounter, Lin Luoran thinks that places with people represent trouble. Therefore, she stays far away from them and doesn't meet anyone. At this end of the canyon, Lin Luoran has almost observed all the vegetation, animals, mountains, rivers and waters. When she is riding the wild antelope on the grassland, she has decided to cross the middle mountain range and go to the canyon on the other side of the mountain. Lin Luoran's injury has been stabilized. With the magical effect of the blue jade, White Fairy says that she has some confidence to gather vitality. However, if she wants to break the elixir and gather vitality, Lin Luoran needs a huge amount of Reiki that a low-rank cultivator can't imagine. White Fairy means to use the spirit stone she took from the Misty Palace. Lin Luoran feels that her state of mind still needs the last bit of enlightenment, so she is not in a hurry. Maybe she can find a place with abundant Reiki in Shurja Gorge before she gathers vitality? The Reiki on Nami Planet is definitely not abundant in White Fairy's eyes. However, she can't deny that some special terrains have the effect of locking spirits. They can breed Reiki and Spirit Spring. It all depends on fate. If I can't find Reiki, I will use your Spirit Stone. Lin Luoran smiles and jumps off the back of the wild antelope. White Fairy can't refute and can only agree. Thank you for giving me a ride. Here you can have some. Handing an apple to the wild antelope, Lin Luoran pats its head and walks into the mountain. Another group of explorers? Is it because Windsor cancelled the wedding that these people think it is not worthwhile to go back and forth empty-handed? So there are so many exploration teams in Shurja Gorge recently. Lin Luoran pretends not to see them. She carries the mountaineering bag on her back. Every step seems to be slow, but she soon disappears from the sight of the latecomers. Pinch me. Are my eyes deceiving me? Someone is riding the most timid wild antelope for a walk? The man wrapped in mountaineering clothes yells. He can't believe what he just saw. The entire expedition team is silent. It is also the first time for them to see someone who can get close to the wild antelope. Wild antelope is the most stubborn and timid creature on the Shurja grassland that never gets close to people. For Lin Luoran, such an expedition is just a small episode. She carries the mountaineering bag and strides among the rocks. The closer she gets to the mountains, the more she can feel the calling of Reiki. Lin Luoran feels that there must be Reiki hidden in the mountains. Based on her feeling, she walks in the mountains for 2 days. The unusual place is a deep natural cave. There are several corpses lying at the entrance of the cave. They are dressed in black. They may have been dead for 2 weeks. Thinking of the expedition team that was hunted when they first entered the canyon, Lin Luoran feels her forehead. Is this the reason why they were hunted after discovering the secret? Sure enough, she doesn't need to look for trouble. Trouble will naturally come to her. The deep cave exudes a fatal attraction. Lin Luoran uses her spiritual mind to explore it. She only finds that the deeper she goes, the thicker the Reiki is. However, there is no living person. There are many corpses in the cave. Lin Luoran examines the corpses in black. The hot weather has made them smelly and rotten. However, it can be seen that they died in a fight. Money moves people's hearts. Spirit stones are also good things for Nami Alliance people who pursue longevity. They snatch food under the nose of the Nami royal family. Lin Luoran doesn't know which force these people are from. Unfortunately, they are all dead. She doesn't know whether it is a traitor or a traitor. With her personal ability at this time, casting a few simple fireball spells does not affect her injury. Lin Luoran burns the corpses at the entrance of the cave. She explores all the way down the cave and burns the corpses she meets. When she walks to the bottom of the winding cave, she is dazzled by the devastating colorful light. It can be seen that there are traces of mining here. The semi-artificial cave stretches for dozens of feet and is full of spirit stones that are half inlaid in the mountain. Red, green, blue, brown, and yellow. Is this the place of the 5 elements? This place is like a place arranged by God for you to gather vitality. White Fairy mutters to herself. She is deeply frustrated by Lin Luoran's luck. Maybe the Taoist root of the 5 elements is not a waste of personal ability at all? Lin Luoran thinks of the sudden increase of the expedition team and the heavy casualties of the men in black. She sighs, I'm afraid this place has been exposed. It is a pity that the blessed land where the 5 elements gather is not a place for self-cultivation. White Fairy covers her mouth and smiles. How can you forget that I am here? She has been practicing illusion spells for thousands of years. It is not difficult for ordinary people to see this cave. White Fairy goes to a range like a gust of wind. Lin Luoran also calms down. She chooses the place with the densest reiki and sits down. She begins to breathe and train chi. Every long breath he took was for the spirit energy to better enter his body. Lin Luoran has never encountered a place for personal ability enhancement that is completely compatible with her Taoist root. When she first enters the treasure house, her body responds faster than her heart. Lin Luoran has been cultivating for more than 300 years. She has seen the joys, sorrows, and joys of the mortal world. She has been tempered by the secular world. She is like an old bamboo that has lived for hundreds of years and tends to be indifferent. Lin Luoran is right. She is calm and balanced. She has a clear conscience and is not entangled by killing. She has the confidence to gather vitality. Cultivators in the gathering vitality period can live up to 1,000 years. They can establish their own school and call themselves ancestors in the world of cultivation. These are the glory of cultivators in the gathering vitality period. At this time, Lin Luoran only wants to live up to her heart. Chapter 479. Boss, do you think the news is true? Chewing coconut milk candy, the explorer wearing a hat shows his pointed ears. He looks down at the instrument in his hand carefully. The geomagnetism in Shurjia Rift Valley is irregular. He didn't expect to find the destination by the instrument. However, this place is full of messy codes. Isn't it too weird? They are not the only expedition team stationed on the nearby mountain. In the past month, explorers with ulterior motives have searched the central mountain range of the rift like sweeping the ground. It is a credit to them to find this place. However, according to the information they got, there should be a natural karst cave here. The landmark is not wrong. Did someone deliberately release fake news to fool everyone? No wonder everyone makes wild guesses. There is no cave here. Instead, there is a sinkhole with a radius of more than 10 meters and a depth of about 100 feet. There are no less than tens of thousands of snakes at the bottom of the sinkhole. Most of them are highly poisonous. They go out to hunt along the wall of the sinkhole and entangle each other into a dead knot. The slippery and cold visual scene is enough to make the experienced and knowledgeable expedition teams feel numb. The place that can produce spirit stone mines must be one of the best blessed places in the whole continent or even the whole planet. People in the Nami Alliance don't know feng shui, but they can tell what kind of place makes people feel refreshed. It is definitely not such a snake pit. After 2 weeks of stalemate, some expedition teams have tried to go down the snake pit. Many people have seen it with their own eyes. The adventurers who have ventured down are pulled into the deep pit by snakes in the blink of an eye. The snake venom corrodes people into a pile of bones in front of everyone's eyes. They are drowned at the bottom of the sinkhole where thousands of snakes are surging. No bones are left. Using fire was actually the best way to do it. The expedition team that carried out this method was attacked by a group of snakes. They were teased by the group of snakes and went crazy, which sounded an alarm for their peers. Use neurotoxin? Damn it, it doesn't have much effect on these old poisonous creatures. The expedition team misses large-scale weapons very much. Unfortunately, the place where they are staying is the Nami Star with the most stringent security checks in the Alliance. The place they want to go is Shurjia Rift Valley, which belongs to the royal family. Even if the Heidel family, which belongs to the Nami Alliance, wants to make trouble, they have to use the handsome man trick. It can be imagined how crazy it is to transport weapons to the Nami Star. How nice it would be to bring a particle shell. These poisonous snakes will be vaporized in an instant. The explorer with the cowboy hat sighed sullenly. In return, he received a cold stare from the leader of the expedition team. Unless you can disassemble the particle accelerator into 213 pieces and replace them with all the bones in your body. After passing the security check, I'll restore the particle accelerator and let you try it out. Pointy Ears thought of the scene described by the leader. After removing the particle accelerator, he would become a pile of rotten meat. How would he be able to aim? Boss, it's not practical to ask one person to bring them in. If we split them up, has no one ever thought of breaking weapons into small pieces and bringing them to the Nami Star through human bones? The more Pointy Ears thought about it, the more he thought it was a good idea. The leader stared at him as if he was an idiot. Exploration is an art. Can you shut up? If everyone carried weapons of mass destruction, they wouldn't be explorers. They would be galactic mercenaries living in the dark, such as the group of people on the opposite mountain. Smuggling weapons into the Nami star? Humph, even if they find the spirit stone vein, can they take all of them away? Interstellar mercenaries who don't know how to make a fortune in silence are born to be the sworn enemies of explorers. It's really annoying. The leader of the expedition secretly thinks. The pointy ears of the alien in the hat move. Boss, it looks like it's going to rain. The summer in Shurgia Rift Valley is still coming to an end. The weather changes suddenly and the air humidity increases obviously. Each expedition team has its own weather forecaster and they all return to the camp to take shelter from the rain. Only the mercenary group that comes later looks disdainful. Compared with the hearsay of these expeditions, they have got the exact news that there is an amazing spirit stone mine at the place where the snake pit is located. The organization that found the spirit stone mine is in internal strife. If they don't take advantage of this, the leaders of the mercenary group will feel ashamed. In front of huge interests, the authority of the Nami star is not invincible. In addition to the incident of the royal heir, the Nami star is stable but also chaotic. It gives the mercenary group confidence to smuggle spirit stones out. Number 1 aim. Number 1 got it. It has been aimed and is ready to fire. Number 2 in position. Number 2 is in position, waiting for orders. The dark clouds in the sky are getting thicker and thicker. Raindrops fall densely, blurring the mercenary's sight. The rolling clouds obscure the light of the star. The sky suddenly darkens and the air pressure is so low that people can't breathe easily. All the expeditions and mercenary groups present can't help but look up at the sky above their heads at this moment. The rotating mass of air, the thick clouds, the flickering arcs of lightning, the muffled and overlapping sounds of thunder. A lightning bolt as thick as a bucket suddenly struck down, striking the 10,000 snake sinkhole. Before the scene of snake meat flying and snake blood splashing could be seen, the 10,000 snakes pit disappeared without a trace, revealing a deep hole that extended underground. It's fake. The mercenary group and the exploration team were dumbfounded. However, the ground that had been corroded by the rain was now filled with lightning. Although they were not the main targets, the exploration team and the mercenary group had been unlucky enough to be within the range of the thunder disaster. The dull thunder shakes the mountains. In the deep karst cave, Lin Luoran's eyes are closed and she looks peaceful. A beautiful piece of aqua-blue jade floated above her head. When the lightning struck it, it seemed to be completely absorbed. Lin Luoran is experiencing the drastic change of breaking the golden elixir and condensing gathering vitality at this moment. If she can survive the thunder doom, she will be promoted to a gathering vitality cultivator. She will be able to learn a very useful art of nature. The scientific and technological civilization has not found a way to deal with this kind of power which is beyond spells. Lin Luoran can return to the earth openly. If she fails, she may not even be able to choose the road of recultivation. Being killed by the thunder is the normal result of failing the test. Gathering vitality cultivators already have primordial spirit. If she dies, the best ending for her is to cultivate her primordial spirit, just like White Fairy. Cultivation has always been a single log bridge. Once you step on it, you can only move forward or fall into the abyss. There is no chance to return. The 4 golden elixirs in her pubic region have long been broken. Lin Luoran's pubic region becomes chaotic again. Abundant Wacken is compressed in her pubic region. This is her personal ability of more than 300 years. The golden elixir has been broken, so Lin Luoran has to shape her gathering vitality in the thunder. There is not much time left for her, and the thunder above her head has not stopped. Lin Luoran is surprisingly in meditation. In front of her eyes, she sees the path of personal ability enhancement in the past 300 years. The pain of being betrayed by her boyfriend and the anger when others trample on her family bracelet. When the space of the sacred pearl is opened, she eats the flame fruit and purifies her marrow in a half-awake state. After changing her physique, a door is opened. She picks the black epiphyllum on the cliff and breaks through the ocean of consciousness. From then on, she really embarks on the path of personal ability enhancement. The Nameless Training Chi spell, taught by Master Jia, the ignorant path of personal ability enhancement, the accident of Bao Jia, and the first time she discussed Tao with Master Mu and Master Gua are still vivid in her mind. She has learned many spells. When her personal ability is improved, she can even fight against starships. However, what Lin Luoran remembers most is the hard practice and fascination when she secretly learned the fireball spell. The secret land at the bottom of the sea in Bermuda, the silent giant turtle, the white fairy under the abyss, and the monkey wines secretly collected by the old monkey. For her, in addition to spirit herbs, she also gained the friendship of Wen Guanjing and Li Shi in the secret land of Bermuda. The female corpse in the crystal coffin is exactly the same as the white fairy, and the monster bat suppressed under the magnetic mountain all bring her a lot of trouble. Qingsheng Taoist Temple specializes in magic figures. They could have been friends. However, the development of things is unpredictable. After 3 years of training in the Blood Pool Underground Palace, she lays foundation in one fell swoop. Stumbling, but no major twists and turns. She used to think that her life would be leisurely and happy personal ability enhancement with her family like this. The drastic changes after returning from Mount Penglai make her almost crazy overnight. Until she finds Bao Jia in the distant Nami alliance, they are good friends. They stand in different camps. Lin Luoran's personal ability enhancement for more than 300 years is concentrated in one place. She has a mixture of 5 flavors, but most of them are sweet. Although it is mixed with bitterness, compared with other living beings, Lin Luoran feels that God has treated her well. Even though she is getting farther and farther away from the original simple dream, Lin Luoran always believes that life will return to the right track with her own efforts. 2 acres of thin land, a hut, and 3 or 5 friends get together from time to drink. The smoke curling up from the chimney and the immortal path she is looking forward to are like a picture in her dream. It is a dream that Lin Luoran is willing to devote her whole life to. Does she regret it? If she doesn't cultivate, her family will not be rich. She may live an ordinary life. Thinking of this, Lin Luoran is a little confused. The thunder above her head is even louder. It seems that Lin Luoran has reached a critical moment. Thunder for Doom has completely destroyed the entrance of the cave, and the whole small mountain has been flattened. This kind of abnormal phenomenon has long attracted the attention of the Nami people. The royal family, nobles, and all the slightly capable forces are rushing to Shurjia Rift Valley. In the manor, only the wretched pug nose is staring at the direction of the canyon with some expectation. Cyan Little Fox is tense, not knowing whether Lin Luoran can survive this. Confusion flashes in Lin Luoran's eyes. She asks herself. She has never regretted cultivation. A mass of Wacken is scattered in the pubic region. Bathed in the thunder for doom, it is full of vitality. The golden elixir is broken, and the Wacken wandering everywhere finally condenses. When the Wacken stops moving, a vivid Lin Luoran appears in the pubic region. Her eyes are closed, and her fingers are interlocked. There is a colorful plum flower between her eyebrows, and the petals are only bright in 3 colors, red, blue, and green. The beautiful eyes of the fly apsaras painted sculpture in the ocean of consciousness move. A group of virtual shadows rushes down and pounces on the gathering vitality. Lin Luoran feels that her soul is a little torn. When the little baby girl opens her eyes and smiles at her, Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that the virtual picture is the so-called primordial spirit, right? The primordial spirit attaches to the gathering vitality. This is what a gathering vitality cultivator can rely on after death. From then on, only when the primordial spirit is destroyed, the female cultivator named Lin Luoran in this world will really disappear. The gathering vitality is condensed, and the primordial spirit appears. The last season of Thunder for Doom falls with all the power. Cultivation is to fight for life with the heaven. The Tao of Heaven is clear. Only the cultivator who successfully passes the doom can advance to the gathering vitality. Chapter 480. Thunder clouds in the sky make the central mountain range of Shurjia Rift Valley dim. Animals hide in caves and shiver. The timid ones have even fainted. The movement in Shurjia Rift Valley is too big. Many forces have come. However, because of the thunderclouds, they can only stay on the periphery. It can't be because of the weather that thunder only falls on one place. Besides, who has ever seen thunder that can flatten a mountain? Stone chips are flying everywhere. Judith is sent by his sister, Windsor, to inspect. The fat man is gnawing on a chicken wing on a small starship and reporting to Maple Leaf City vaguely. The artificial brain and a bunch of experts can't figure out anything from the messy data. Judith is basically having a remote video chat. I heard that on some remote planets, some wild beasts are envied by gods. They will send Thunder Doom to destroy these huge threats. An old scholar looks up from the database and says hesitantly, as a powerful alliance, a big advantage lies in the continuous exploration of the boundless star territory. Judith once found a group of giant rocks near an unrecorded planet when he was an interstellar pirate with Windsor for 2 years. The Friends' starship disturbed their habitat. The impact of the giant rocks almost destroyed the seemingly ordinary starship, which is actually the most advanced technology of the Nami Alliance. If it weren't for Windsor's proper command, it would be hard to say whether they could escape or not. Judith unconsciously stops eating chicken wings. It is not surprising that there are powerful space beasts. However, are they powerful enough to cause supernatural phenomena to deal with them? Well, isn't our starship a little too close? No one dares to say that the prince is afraid of death. The starship commander orders to retreat. Some smart nobles see that the royal starship is retreating, so they also retreat. Of course, there are also some stupid ones who think that only by getting close can they have a chance to pick up treasures. They occupy the front line and refuse to retreat. At this moment, the last thunder containing all the power of Thunder Doom falls without warning. When it hits the top of the mountain, even time seems to pause for a short time. Wherever the shockwave goes, the trees are rolled up by their roots. The chaotic electromagnetic field interferes with the system of the airship. Those nobles who come to watch the fun in luxury airships all enjoy the treatment of a small boat in the waves. It's so shameful. The airship actually falls to the ground like a fruit hit by the rain. The onlookers eventually become the fun for others to laugh at. Was the target of this commotion still safe and sound at this moment? When the Thunder Doom attacks, the blue jade floating above Lin Luoran's head absorbs the power of thunder and lightning. Before the last strike, the blue jade suddenly rotates at a high speed and transforms into a person with flesh and blood. The person looks exactly like Lin Luoran. The last lightning strike, which makes the mountains collapse, rocks fly and trees move, hits the Lin Luoran, transformed by blue jade accurately. The jade figure falls to the ground and returns to her original form. At this moment, the tribulation clouds had dissipated, and the thunder and lightning were nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, there was a bright light that rose from the top of the mountain that had been struck by the thunder and lightning. A strong fragrance spread out, and the plants and animals that had been affected by the tribulation all had a chance to live, so they wouldn't be implicated for no reason. The valley shrouded in the glow is solemn and magical. This scene surprises the Nami people who are lucky enough to see it. Later, it is named auspicious. It has been passed down for thousands of years under the artistic treatment of the scholars of the Nami Alliance. Lin Luoran is wrapped in the red glow, like a cocoon of light. Her body flickered with multicolored light. Her body was transformed by the nascent spiritual source within her. Her skin, blood, bones, and even her height and appearance were transformed. Advancing to the nascent soul realm couldn't turn a female cultivator into a peerlessly beautiful fairy. It only gave each cultivator a body that was most suitable for them, the most perfect and flawless body that had undergone evolution. The Wacken in her body is slowly transformed into a higher level of meta through the transformation of gathering vitality in her pubic region. It replaces the Wacken in Lin Luoran's body, nourishes her body, and fills her meridians. This time, Lin Luoran's body transformation no longer eliminates black and smelly impurities, but sweats with a strange fragrance. When she finishes the transformation of Meta and opens her eyes, she hears the undisguised joy of the 3 animals, Linny, you have gathered vitality. Yes, she has gathered vitality. Lin Luoran's old disease has been cured, and she has a new physique. Standing up and walking, she feels her body is light and healthy, like a feather that can't be weighed. The deeper change is that Lin Luoran can feel the joy, anger, sorrow, and joy of all living things within 100 miles. She feels that the changes brought by the gathering vitality period are enough for her to study for a long time. Lin Luoran picks up the blue jade on the ground. The crisscrossed cracks on it remind her of the thrill just now. White Fairy said that this is a treasure belonging to the deep-sea mermaid tribe. The moon in the sea has tears, and the jade is warm on the Lantian sun. Mermaids' tears turn into pearls. In the pool where mermaids' tears are gathered, a Lantian jade can be bred every 10,000 years. It is not a famous kind of jade in Huaxia. This kind of Lantian jade has only one function: to transform itself and suffer for others. This is a treasure that the mermaid tribe never gives to outsiders. Except for the royal blood of mermaids, no one dares to wear it. Because of such a treasure, many cultivators who want to reach divinization have thought about mermaids and mermaids. Mermaids are full of treasures, but they also get into trouble because of their wealth. The disappearance of the tribe is almost irreversible. Lin Luoran doesn't know why the mermaid who died in the Sea of Sin didn't use it. No matter what, it is suffering for herself. Lin Luoran puts away the cracked Lantian jade. White Fairy sighs that it's a pity because such a treasure can only be put to good use during the test of gathering vitality and divinization. Lin Luoran is not greedy. It is not easy for her to reach divinization even with the help of space. It is not worthwhile for her to spend too much time worrying about gains and losses today because of the possibility in the future. From laying foundation to bearing essence, Lin Luoran once got a big gift package. What about the gathering vitality period? Lin Luoran has an idea and enters space. The original 20 acres of land has changed dramatically. Happiness comes so fast that Lin Luoran feels dizzy. A hill suddenly appears where the small spring used to be. She has planted big trees and ordinary Chinese herbs, all kinds of mushrooms, fungus, and vines on the hill. They grow in the most suitable place for her. The fire pit where the strange fire is has become a real mountain. The strange fire itself has disappeared into space. Lin Luoran can feel the lava of earth fire contained in the mountain. It seems that if she can dig the right place, she can really set up the alchemy furnace to make elixirs. Plants, trees, and spirit herbs that were originally inclined to the nature of fire have been transplanted to the Red Mountain. Between the two mountains, there is a piece of fertile land stretching for dozens of miles. On the edge of the field, Lin Luoran's cabin stands. The spring pool is close to the cabin. The most fertile land is the 2 acres of red land, which is full of spirit herbs and exotic flowers. There are 4 acres of black land, and the rest of the fertile land is yellow land. There is a lake on the edge of the fertile land, bordering the 2 mountains. There are 2 mountains and 1 lake. The rest of the land is still shrouded in thick fog. Lin Luoran can't go there at first glance. The plants she has planted have not changed. Lin Luoran walks to the edge of the yellow land and feels that she has jumped over an invisible barrier. The Reiki is very weak. Lin Luoran has a strange intuition that the 2 new mountains she has got are different not only because of the Reiki content. Maybe they have lost the difference of time? In order to confirm her guess, Lin Luoran buries a pumpkin seed on the hillside. She stares at it for a few minutes, but there is no sign of germination. Does this place really lose the benefit of 1 day equals 1 year? Lin Luoran faintly feels that this doesn't seem to be a bad thing. Space can't magically make 2 mountains out of nowhere. Besides, her original medicine field for time difference still exists. The 2 mountains are like free. What is there for her to be dissatisfied with? Besides, maybe the lake can also be used to raise fish? It is just a small realm from the late bearing essence period to gathering vitality, but space gives her a big world in return. The 3 fire phoenixes are drooling on the edge of the fertile land. When can you gather the 5 elements? Fire Phoenix looks at the red stone mountain with hot eyes. Lin Luoran looks at the 2 mountains and 1 lake that suddenly appear and suddenly realizes. Green Mountain, Earth Fire, and Lake. Do they belong to Wood Wolf, Fire Phoenix, and Silverfish? When she finds the mythological beasts of earth and gold, the 5 elements of space will be gathered. Maybe it is not only the space environment that will change, right? Lin Luoran draws inferences. She thinks of the tricolor plum petal shining between the eyebrows of her gathering vitality in pubic region. Obviously, she still lacks the nature of earth and gold. Chapter 481. The glow disperses and Judith wakes up from the dizziness. Who hasn't read a few fantasy novels when he was a child? Who hasn't fantasized that he is a hot-blooded protagonist with many adventures when he was a teenager? Anyway, the glow in Prince Judith's eyes has changed his impression of the collapsed mountain from a monster to the birth of a treasure. Search. Search the entire mountain. Find out what's so magical about it. The nobles are itching. Unfortunately, this is Shurja Rift Valley, which belongs to the royal family. Prince Judith always has a bad table manners. He doesn't care who you are. When he loses his temper, he really doesn't save people any face. The nobles can only drool while staying at the excavation site in the name of watching. They don't want to leave. Judith has gained a lot this time. Rocks are rugged and the mountain has been blown into a mess. First of all, he has caught 2 evil mercenary groups. Interstellar mercenaries are employed by private individuals. Compared with interstellar pirates who only seek wealth, they are lawless and take all kinds of tasks. It is not an exaggeration to say that every mercenary is a wanted criminal of the Alliance. Judith orders people to find living people among the broken stones and branches. If they are interstellar mercenaries, they will be caught. If they are explorers, they will be taken back for treatment. He wants to see if he can ask them what happened before. These explorers gather like smelly flies. Then there are lightning strikes and glow. This mountain is not simple. Robots are cleaning up the ruins. The entrance of the karst cave has long been buried by rocks. It takes a lot of time to explore and clean up. Judith naturally doesn't expect that all this is caused by his old acquaintance Lin Luoran. Under the karst cave buried by rocks, Lin Luoran is working as a hardworking miner on the colorful spirit stone vein. Mining is hard, but it is a spirit stone mine. Lin Luoran thinks of her family. She used to use homemade spirit stones, which are very shabby. Finally, she has a windfall. She is very happy to dig. Spirit stones are of all 5 natures. The quality is mottled and impure. The mountain wall of the associated spirit stone mine is extremely hard. It is impossible to use the spell of the earth. Lin Luoran can only pry them off with flying swords. Lin Luoran doesn't dig a few and finds that someone is trying to open a passage to the bottom of the karst cave. Under the watchful eyes of the public, will these spirit stones follow other people's names? Lin Luoran is reluctant to leave. She scans the starship with her spiritual mind and finds an old acquaintance. She is delighted and sends her voice to Judith's ear with voice passing. "Judith, it's me." The snacks in Judith's mouth almost fall out. The royal etiquette forces him to pretend that nothing has happened. This voice is really familiar. Lin Luoran discusses with Judith and asks him to stop digging and stop others from coming down. She will thank him later. Judith agrees without hesitation. He gives up the spirit stone mine to Lin Luoran. He is really a prodigal. With a wave of his hand, the prince sends soldiers to guard the flattened hilltop. He says that the royal family wants to study this special biosphere. Judith doesn't send people to dig anymore. Every day, many staff pretends to collect samples for testing. It's a complete reversal. There is no fun to watch or take advantage of. The nobles are so annoyed by Judith that they return one after another. In the end, only the starship of the Nami royal family is left in the mountains. It's rare for Judith to come to Shurja Rift Valley, which belongs to the royal family. With nothing to do, nothing escapes from the claws of the foodie. When Lin Luoran comes out to see him 2 weeks later, Judith has gained weight again. Below the karst cave, Lin Luoran has almost dug out all the spirit stones inlaid in the mountain wall. They are piled up in the space, which is extremely tempting. She digs all the way down the spirit stone mine and finds a colorful stone with sharp edges and corners under the mountain. Fire Phoenix studies it for a while and tells Lin Luoran with certainty, "This is a mother lode." It turns out that the spirit stones of the 5 elements coexist here because of the existence of this mother lode. It will actively absorb Reiki of heaven and earth and transform nearby materials into spirit stones of the 5 elements. It just takes a little longer and it will inevitably take thousands of years. Lin Luoran feels a little sorry that she can't plant spirit stones soon. The mother lode of the 5 elements can be divided into 5 pieces. Lin Luoran thinks about it and throws the mother lode of the wood into the green mountain, the mother lode of the water into the lake, and the mother lode of the fire on Red Stone Mountain. As for the remaining 2 elements, she thinks that they are everywhere in the earth space. She casually throws the mother lode of the earth into the spirit field. She doesn't dare to put the mother lode of the gold at random and carefully collects it. Lin Luoran is very satisfied after collecting the mother lode. She quietly escapes the space and looks like an explorer. She meets Judith by the stream in the wilderness. Lin Luoran is still dressed as an explorer with a big mountaineering bag and a cap. Judith has long known that she is under the rocks. In the past 2 weeks, he has been wondering if the natural vision has something to do with Lin Luoran. Seeing Lin Luoran's appearance, Judith's fat eyes are a little confused. "My skin is better, my hair is darker, and I'm thinner. My figure is better. But if these can be determined by external factors, what's with my height?" Judith feels that Lin Luoran has grown taller after 3 or 4 months. How old is this humanoid weapon? Why is she still growing taller? Poor Judith can't figure it out. He still invites Lin Luoran to go back to Maple Leaf City with him as agreed before. After leaving some experts in the canyon, the Royal Starship returns. Judith is somewhat reluctant to leave this game paradise. The starship runs slower than a tortoise. His Royal Highness returns to Maple Leaf City with the mood of sightseeing. It is less than an hour's journey, but the starship flies for a whole week. Lin Luoran remembers Judith's previous friendship. She takes some time to choose a spirit stone of the nature of wood. She hollows out the middle part and puts some concentrated essence of 10,000-year-old ginseng into it. She melts gold into a chain and uses the spirit stone as a gem to make a long necklace with a simple style. The nature of wood focuses on life. The power of ginseng will slowly penetrate into Judith's body day after day. Wearing this kind of necklace for a long time will benefit Judith a lot from practicing body arts and prolonging his life. Lin Luoran is not a stingy person. Judith covers for her. She has dug countless spirit stones under the karst cave. The Nami royal family is very poor. Lin Luoran makes 3 such necklaces and gives them to Judith. The fat man begins to dislike the necklace and he is very dissatisfied. He hopes to exchange the reward for a few delicious meals. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. She even forces him to accept it. In fact, such a necklace is worth exchanging for a lifetime of delicious food in the eyes of knowledgeable people. The prince is so short-sighted. Now that she has gathered vitality, Lin Luoran may set off to return to the earth at any time. In her current state of mind, most of the things on Nami Star are beautiful after exaggeration. Lin Luoran sighs when she looks at Judith, who only cares about delicious food. She always has a lingering nostalgia for the people she has been with. "When will you ask your sister to come to the castle for dinner?" After getting along with her for a few days, Judith feels the change of Lin Luoran. He doesn't know the advancement of cultivators, but he finds that the woman in front of him is as vigorous as a mountain and as vast as a star. He can't see through her. He remembers that Windsor once said that the woman who walks in the stars will light up Nami. Time is too short. The small Nami star can't keep such a strange woman. Thinking of the bright light after the thunder and dark clouds half a month ago, he feels that something important has happened on Nami Star because of the person in front of him. However, they can't know it. The fat man is a little sad. Is this the gap between mortals and humanoid weapons? Congratulations, Aunt Lin. Ma Yiming looks respectful and he doesn't hide his joy. Aunt Lin, have you really gathered vitality? Ma Shuangshuang is curious and inquiring. Lin Luoran stands there quietly. Even the air has a fragrance. Are Reiki molecules actively approaching her? In the blink of an eye, a little female cultivator has reached gathering vitality from the laying foundation period. Cyan Little Fox sighs like an old man. It will never admit that it was wrong in the past. A weak female cultivator has become a gathering vitality cultivator in the blink of an eye. Colin takes the gift with joy. It is a medicine chain of better quality than the necklace Judith got. Wearing it on his neck, he immediately feels refreshed. By the way, miss, your uncle is here. Colin finally remembers the business. The smile on Lin Luoran's face freezes and her eyelids twitch violently. Mr. Lin is the only son of the third generation of the Lin family. How can she have an uncle? The horse's hooves are leisurely. An old man riding a white horse appears on the other side of the grassy slope. He is wearing a noble knight suit, but his hair is as messy as a chicken's nest. His pug nose is shiny in the spring breeze. The great truths, the grocery store, the man claiming to be her uncle, and the winking of Cyan Little Fox. Lin Luoran can't guess who the old man in front of her is. Liao, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Chapter 482. Liao has always insisted that he is the lord of the blue waves. However, his disguise as Lin Luoran's uncle is exposed. Even the young people ignore him. Who is willing to call him lord? Speaking of this person, Lin Luoran has a lot of questions. In the past, she would like to press Liao down on the spot and not give him food if he doesn't answer her questions. Actually, I'm very curious. What do you look like, Liao? Seeing Liao slipping down from the horse in a funny way, Lin Luoran is really curious. Putting aside the chronological order, she only cares about the order. The first time she saw Liao, he was a weather-beaten old fisherman by Dongting Lake. He made the most original fish soup and lived on the boat. He was greedy, but he took her and roamed to Mount June and found the Dragon Palace. The second time was in ancient Babylon 3,000 years ago. A crazy middle-aged man came and went freely in the Tower of Babel. The third time was in the distant N2 trading star. An old man with a pug nose gave her the second half of the great truths that the Lin family had lost for many years. Lin Luoran can't convince herself that it is a coincidence. After many years, Liao is still the same old Liao. Lin Luoran is a gathering vitality cultivator. Looking at him with clear eyes, she still finds that he is an old man without any personal ability. It is easy to explain the first two times. After all, they haven't seen each other for more than 2,000 years. She can accept the transition from a middle-aged man to an old fisherman. However, this time he looks like an alien. Lin Luoran stares at him for a long time, but she can't find any trace of illusion spell. How did Liao change his face? When Liao slips down from the horse, he is almost kicked by the horse's hoof. The demeanor of a master that he pretends to be is gone. The old man doesn't care that there are juniors here. He says shamelessly, "I have helped you a lot. You have to take care of me when I am old." Lin Luoran coughs. An old monster who has lived for 3,000 years. Maybe Liao is still alive when she dies. It is hard to say who will take care of whom. Yes, thank you. Since you don't mind calling yourself uncle, can I call you Uncle Liao? The Dragon Palace suddenly recognizes her as its master, and it must have something to do with Liao. Without this experience, she would not be able to apatheisize herself. In the years when the earth was in turmoil, the Lin family had no place to stay. Liao is very satisfied with Lin Luoran's attitude. He glances around proudly. Lin Luoran has recognized him as her uncle. These juniors are relieved in their hearts. In the past few months, they have not been taken advantage of by this old man who is full of nonsense. Several people surround Lin Luoran and Liao to go back to the castle. Lin Luoran is a new gathering vitality cultivator. The four young people want to celebrate. Liao agrees very much. He says that he hasn't eaten authentic Huaxia food for a long time and encourages Lin Luoran to cook for him. Lin Luoran doesn't say yes or no. She says that she will invite Windsor and her brother to dinner tomorrow. Everyone can deal with it first and have a big meal tomorrow. Colin realizes at once that Lin Luoran is going to leave. The former nobleman of the Caesar Star was getting farther and farther away from Colin. Along the way, the interstellar travel not only broadened Colin's vision, but also his desire to stand out in the family. He had an ignorant, extravagant thought in his heart. He envied the brother and sister of the Ma family who could cultivate. Who in this world can stay alive? People fight for power and status in the world. As the old Huaxia saying goes, in the end, it is just a cup of yellow soil. However, Colin also knows that the Alpha Alliance has studied cultivators for so many years. One thing is certain about cultivators. Except for the Huaxia bloodline on the Earth, no living beings on other planets can cultivate. Colin, this is for you. Colin is a little absent-minded. Lin Luoran's voice comes from the front. He takes 2 steps quickly. Lin Luoran hands him a necklace. Colin takes it suspiciously. The necklace is made of good craftsmanship. The silver chain is pierced with an emerald bead. The big bead is covered with a small one. The outer bead is as big as a pigeon's egg. It is hollowed out layer by layer. Separated by 7 or 8 layers of jade, a soybean-sized thing can be vaguely seen spinning in the emerald jade ball. A strong smell of medicine comes. Colin is refreshed. He only feels refreshed and indescribably peaceful. Liao turns his head and says, "The essence of 10,000-year-old ginseng. Niece, you are so generous. Why don't you give your uncle too?" Colin almost falls down on his head. 10,000-year-old ginseng? Hearing it makes his legs weak. Lin Luoran takes out a more delicate jade necklace of the same style and hands it to Han Weiya. Seeing Ma Shuangshuang staring at it eagerly, Lin Luoran explains with a smile, "You have also begun to cultivate. I hope you can rely on your own strength to strengthen your body." Ma Yiming nods sensibly. Even Ma Shuangshuang understands. Lin Luoran and her brother are both cultivators. Refining their bodies with Reiki is the right way. Han Weiya is her good friend. Even the glib Colin is a good brother. They don't have personal ability, so it's normal for Aunt Lin to care more about their bodies. After thinking it through, Ma Shuangshuang doesn't care about it anymore. She enters the castle and freshens up. However, Lin Luoran remembers that she has to teach the siblings of the Ma family their homework. She has been away for a few months. Ma Shuangshuang can now cast spells like Rejuvenation of the Earth instantly. Even Ma Yiming can face the enemy head-on. Han Weiya holds the medicinal jade necklace given by Lin Luoran and loves it. She says happily, "Aunt Lin, during the days when you were away, I could see Brother Yiming and Shuangshuang working hard on the mountain on the other side of the manor. Even Cyan Little Fox can't help but snort. It says that the siblings of the Ma family practice spells and they have ruined the forest across the river. Now the fiercest black panther in the forest also turns its head and runs away when it sees Ma Shuangshuang. It is so afraid of this little girl who can catch it and then let it go again and again." Lin Luoran is very satisfied, but she jokes, "You have ruined the mountain of the Nami royal family. You have to entertain the little fatty well tomorrow." Ma Shuangshuang nods. People are the creatures that are most likely to bond. Judith often comes to the manor to eat. These young people have a good relationship. Ma Shuangshuang also knows that Lin Luoran gathers vitality. The day of leaving Nami Star is approaching. Thinking of parting, she really feels sad. Everyone has this idea. They all want to entertain the Windsors well tomorrow. They ask Lin Luoran some interesting things on the road. They are excited for most of the night and then they go to bed. The spring temperature is pleasant. The night breeze blows and the newly grown pasture around the castle is swaying in the wind. Liao is embarrassed on horseback during the day. At night, he runs out to practice horsemanship. Lin Luoran feels that he is like an old child, so she follows him openly. "Uncle Liao, I have a lot of questions in my mind. If I don't ask them clearly, I really can't sleep. Can you solve my doubts?" Liao looks like an alien but feels at ease. He smiles widely. "Do you want to ask me about the Tower of Babel?" Lin Luoran thinks of something, but she shakes her head. "I want to ask you the most. Why did you give the Dragon Palace to me?" Liao is stunned and then laughs. I have been guarding the dragon palace for the old dragon in Dongting for many years. Now that someone has taken it over, of course, I have to get rid of it quickly. Is that all? Lin Luoran thinks it has a lot to do with the ginseng she gave to Liao as compensation in the Tower of Babel. However, the old man will not admit it. She lowers her head and thinks for a while. The second question, Uncle Liao. Even counting from ancient Babylon, you are 3,000 years old this year. A cultivator of the gathering vitality period can only live for 1,000 years. I have never heard of cultivators above the divinization period. I am very curious about your background. To be honest, Liao is really nice to her. However, he has the nameless medicine book of the Lin's family. It is hard for Lin Luoran not to think that he is an old friend of the Lin's family. She has a vague idea in her mind that Momo may be the ancestor of the Lin's family. Otherwise, how could the great truths and sacred pearl space fall into her hands for no reason? These questions have been buried in Lin Luoran's heart for a long time. She hopes that Liao can solve some of these mysteries. Liao's pug nose looks red and swollen in the moonlight. The old man doesn't answer her question but asks Lin Luoran for wine. Lin Luoran asks for something, so she doesn't hide it. She takes out the top-grade monkey wine given by the old monkey in the past. Liao is so greedy that his nostrils flare. He drinks up a jar of wine in a short while. Out of Lin Luoran's expectation, this old monster's capacity for liquor is surprisingly poor. After drinking the monkey wine, he soon becomes tongue-tied. I know you are actually suspicious. No one will believe it. I even forget how old I have lived. You know, I don't feel the sense of the end of my life at all. I am afraid that I have to live endlessly like an old tortoise. If you are a junior, I am afraid that you will die of happiness. You can have an endless lifespan, but what's the point if you can't remember who you are? To tell you the truth, I have lived for a long time and got a lot of things by chance. Whether it is the Dongting Dragon Palace or the stupid book of the Lin's family, they all came to me by themselves. Do you think I am willing to care about your stupid things? I have seen the earth change little by little, witnessed many secrets of the mortal world and the world of cultivation, and have a belly full of other people's secrets. My surname is Liao, or something else. In fact, I don't even know it myself. Don't you think I am pitiful? Liao talks a lot. In the end, he cries without caring about his image and falls asleep on the grass. Chapter 483. Good morning, Grandpa Liao. Ma Shuangshuang smiles sweetly. Liao wakes up from a hangover and finds that everyone is very enthusiastic to him. He subconsciously holds his money bag tightly. Although he has opened a grocery store on the N2 trading star for many years, when it comes to savings, Liao is only a little richer than Lin Luoran when she first came to the Nami Alliance. Ahem, Liao, good morning. The cyan little fox washes its face and hands. It walks gracefully and calmly. It passes by Liao and even says hello to him. Liao's face turns pale and he feels that his head is about to explode. For an old monster who has lived for many years and witnessed the vicissitudes of the world, it is really weird that a dead fox who used to be indifferent to him suddenly becomes polite to him. Today they are going to invite the Windsors to dinner. Everyone is busy in the kitchen. Colin is learning to steam buns. It is really not easy for an alien to knead dough. Everyone in the kitchen laughs a lot. Liao is confused. He sees Lin Luoran mixing stuffing. Liao twitches his nose and smells the familiar pork and leek stuffing. He struggles to get away from the temptation of delicious food. He pulls Lin Luoran's sleeve and frowns. Niece, what did I tell you last night? Lin Luoran coughs and holds back her laughter. I told you everything. What do you want to know? Liao says bitterly, I told you why I gave you the Dragon Palace. Lin Luoran nods and asks Liao to sit down. She also makes him a cup of tea. You said it was too troublesome to guard the Dragon Palace, so you gave it to me. Uncle Liao, more than that, you also told me how you cheated the Dragon Palace from the Dongting Dragon King. Liao blushes and quickly changes the topic. Did I tell you all the secrets of the Tower of Babel? The smile on Lin Luoran's face fades a little, but she still nods. Even Liao doesn't know when the Tower of Babel appeared on the bank of the Euphrates River. Last night, Liao was drunk and said that the Tower of Babel is not only an interstellar transmission circle, but also the last line of defense set by an unknown mighty for the earth. To open the shelter of gods in the Tower of Babel, in addition to enough Reiki, we also need 5 cultivators with single Taoist root and all 5 elements. Lin Luoran's heart is pounding. Only when Guanjing, Luodong, Li Shi'e, Chui Wanlu and from the Qingsheng Taoist temple have a single Taoist root. The shelter of gods did happen. It also destroyed most of the mutant monsters and the coalition forces of the Alpha Alliance. The Earth had more than 200 years to recover. Liao's words and the crazy Taoist's message confirm each other. Since the shelter of gods can be opened, it means that the 5 people with single Taoist root of 5 elements are all alive before this. But last night, you didn't tell me how to open the Tower of Babel again after it is closed. Lin Luoran stares at Liao, and the latter turns his face away unnaturally. Now is not the time. Liao is so mysterious that he tries to change the topic. Lin Luoran looks at the beautiful arc roof of the castle and is lost in thought. You know what I want to ask. Liao is very embarrassed. He scratches the back of his head. Your family followed the little Taoist of the Jili tribe into the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel has been closed for these years. I am not an immortal. How can I know what will happen? They might have gone to ancient Babylon like you, or they might have gone to the future world thousands of years later. They might even be lost in time and space. Even if you can open the Tower of Babel again, without the star chart, you won't be able to control it. Star Atlas? Lin Luoran is stunned. She seems to be in disbelief. Liao sighs. The last time we met, I went to Babylon to trick the old priest to help me find the Star Atlas. Unfortunately, you messed up my plan by traveling through time and space. The Star Atlas is lost. Liao opens his eyes wide as if he has seen a ghost. Lin Luoran's hand is holding a jade staircase full of small cracks. The green light is dim. The crazy Taoist once said that this thing is Star Atlas. She has seen similar starlight spots on the dome of the Tower of Babel. Is this what you are talking about? Liao rubs his eyes. Why is this thing in your hand? Lin Luoran thinks for a while and tells Liao what happened in the Kalahari Desert. Liao sighs again and again. The world makes fools of people. Sure enough, everything has its own destiny under the Tao. He has the same opinion as Lin Luoran. At that time, the fake saintess and the ancestor of the monsters of wood walked into the stone gate of the Tower of Babel together. With their personal ability, it was easy for them to pass the transmission test of the Tower of Babel. The ancestor of the monsters of wood disappeared and never appeared in the world again. He must have been transmitted away by the Tower of Babel. However, the fake saintess was later sealed in the underground world of the Kalahari Desert by the Jili tribe. It can be seen that she must have come out at that time. Not only that, the fake saintess also found the Star Atlas at that time. Maybe because of it, she actually gave up the chance to return to her hometown? Lin Luoran holds the jade staircase and her eyes are shining. After confirming with Liao, many doubts that she couldn't figure out before make sense. The jade staircase is the Star Atlas that controls the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel can travel through time and space and enter different civilizations. It must be related to the stars engraved on the back of the jade staircase. Even this Star Atlas itself has the ability of space jump transmission. Otherwise, the fake saintess would not have chosen to give up the Tower of Babel and take away the Star Atlas. Later, she was suddenly sealed by the Jili tribe. Baojia and I caught up with the chaos of the Kalahari Desert. Lin Luoran remembers the past and sighs. Uncle Liao, since I have the Star Atlas, can you tell me the way to open the Tower of Babel again now? Liao wants to slip away, but he is dragged back by Lin Luoran. He laughs awkwardly. A single Taoist root of the 5 elements can open the shelter of gods and close the Tower of Babel. However, it needs a powerful cultivator with all 5 elements to open it again. Don't look at me. Your situation is very strange. Although you can use spells of the 5 elements, with my fiery eyes, your Taoist root is mottled and impure. You are not like an orthodox cultivator with all Taoist root of the 5 elements. Although you have reached the gathering vitality period, it is still impossible for you to open the Tower of Babel. She stares at Liao speechlessly. No one has ever been able to see through her. Liao, who has lived for many years, really has good eyesight. Between the eyebrows of her gathering vitality, there are still 2 petals that have not been lit up. It is only because of the white Taoist root of chaos that she can have all 5 elements. If she wants to supplement the Taoist root of earth and gold, in addition to having enough understanding of the nature of earth and gold, according to her past experience, she also needs to water the spirit herbs that are guarded by the spirit beasts of these 2 elements with their blood. She has to kill 2 spirit beasts and get the treasures of 2 elements? Lin Luoran looks at the jade stairs in her hand. In this world, there are only spirit beasts in the vast starry sky and the monster forest in the Penglai region. At worst, she can cross the sea of sin again. Lin Luoran puts away the jade stairs with indescribable joy in her heart. Even if she can't cross the Penglai region, she can try other opportunities. At worst, she can collect the 12 jade plates and go to the secret land of Bermuda to find spirit beasts. Training Qi cultivators can enter this secret land? Wasn't White Fairy in the gathering vitality period? Since she will go there, Lin Luoran has confidence in herself. Wait, was it the fake saintess who made the disappearance of the gathering vitality cultivators 1,000 years ago? Or did they teleport away through the Tower of Babel? Uncle Liao, on our way here, we got lost and accidentally entered a primitive wild planet. We saw the remains of a senior cultivator who was probably in the divinization period. Liao frowns. The disappearance of the gathering vitality cultivators 1,000 years ago? It may not be the fake saintess's doing, and they may not have teleported away through the Tower of Babel. Since the Han Dynasty, the Earth's Reiki has declined, and some people have been preparing for migration. The cultivator's remains you saw should not belong to a divinization cultivator. Seeing that Lin Luoran is staring at him curiously, Liao hesitates for a long time. He feels that as a gathering vitality cultivator, it is the right time for Lin Luoran to hear some secrets. He gestures for Lin Luoran to refill the teacup. Liao holds the teacup and thinks for a while before he straightens out his thoughts. Let's put it this way. You know that I have lived for a long time. Even if I don't have personal ability, I can always know some secrets. Do you know where cultivators go when they ascend to the heavens after divinization? Lin Luoran is stunned by Liao's question. She has thought about this question for a long time. It is not easy to live a long life, and it is difficult to improve personal ability. Those divinization cultivators who only exist in teleportation. Where do they go after they ascend to the heavens by breaking the void? After seeing the remains of Danling Taoist, Lin Luoran's so-called ascension is to leave the earth. However, according to Liao, Danling Taoist on the wild planet can't be a divinization cultivator. Does it mean that the place where divinization cultivators go is just like the crazy Taoist's message? The place where they go through the Tower of Babel is not only far away but also restricted by the law. Chapter 484. The mystery of the Huaxia civilization can be reflected in the Huaxia language. For example, the word jie can be used as a noun or a verb. There are many interpretations in a noun. The jie mentioned by Lin Luoran is the division of a special realm for cultivators. Just like the Dragon Palace, the secret land of Bermuda, and Mount Penglai, one of their nodes is connected to the earth. In fact, it is a self-contained world inside. The influence of the earth's environment depends on the connection. The world of cultivation is special. It has always existed on the earth. However, the world of cultivators is different from that of mortals. That's why it is called jie. To talk about the place where divinization cultivators go, I have to start from the beginning. The kitchen is very lively. Several young people are laughing and making delicious food. Lin Luoran and Liao are sitting in the living room. There is a pot of tea and 2 plates of snacks. Liao tells the story slowly. For the first time, the mystery of history is cleared up in front of Lin Luoran. Liao wakes up in an ancient tomb. It is the Xia dynasty in the history of Huaxia. Liao wakes up in an ancient tomb floating in the air. He has forgotten everything. It is called a tomb, but it is actually more like a ruin floating above the clouds. Liao crawled out of such a pile of splendid bricks and broken walls. When he wakes up, he has no personal ability and all his memories are lost. He only vaguely remembers that he has the name, the Master of Waves. He rummages around the clouds and finds some broken but useful things. He also finds some jade map. However, he can't read the information because he has no spiritual mind. Liao is very annoyed. He finds an inscription under a three-legged tripod. Fortunately, he has lost his memory, but he can still recognize the words. He manages to translate it, and he finally has an understanding of where he is. It turns out that the place where I wake up is the immortal world. Liao blinks his eyes. Thinking about it after thousands of years, he still can't believe it. Lin Luoran looks weird when she hears that he wakes up in the broken palace above the clouds. When she hears what Liao said, she spits out a mouthful of tea. The immortal world? Isn't Liao who wakes up from the immortal world an immortal? In Lin Luoran's impression, only the man in robe is qualified to be an immortal. Otherwise, immortals should be like Cyan Phoenix immortal on Penglai Island. How can immortals be like Liao? Seeing Lin Luoran's expression, Liao touches his nose indignantly. He snorts and turns his head aside to continue talking. It is said to be the immortal world, but the place where Liao wakes up is just a small corner of the vast immortal world. The great tribulation of heaven and earth, the collapse of the immortal world, and the gods and Buddhas in the sky had all migrated. The place where he was at was just an abandoned ruin, no different from the tomb that he had thought at the beginning. The true immortals were gone, but they still had some conscience before they left. They opened up the spiritual realm with their great supernatural power and chose Qi cultivators with excellent qualifications to fill it. If they could achieve the great Tao, they could use the passage that was opened when they ascended to immortality to find the traces of the ancient immortals and follow the path that the gods and Buddhas took. Hearing about the ancient secret, Lin Luoran frowns. Choose Qi trainers with excellent qualifications to fill the spiritual world? Wouldn't the cultivators on Earth be abandoned? Liao glares at her. Don't interrupt. I haven't said that yet. After discovering the inscription on the tripod, Liao straightens out his thoughts. With great effort, he leaves the ruins with the things he picked up from the ruins. After crossing the node of two worlds, he falls into a water area. It is the middle of the Xia dynasty. Lin Luoran is also very familiar with the place where Liao falls. It is the water area of Dongting. Don't look at me. The dragon race is also a member of the immortal world. When Liao arrives, the entire dragon palace has been emptied, leaving only a jade map for the successor of the dragon palace. It's really annoying. Liao is indignant not only because the dragon king ran away and left an empty shell for him, but also because he has lost all his personal ability. He can't even use his spiritual mind. How can he understand the jade map? Then how did you get into the dragon palace? Without personal ability and spiritual mind, how can the dragon palace let Liao in? Liao is furious. He feels that Lin Luoran looks down on him by asking this question, but then again he really doesn't know how he got in. You won't understand that feeling even if I tell you. It's very strange. In the world, I can go wherever I want to go. Thousands of inhibition can't stop me. Do you understand it? Lin Luoran nods. Liao wakes up in a corner of the abandoned immortal world. Although he has forgotten the past and lost his personal ability, it is not surprising that he has some unique skills except for longevity. Liao's ability is to break the inhibition in the world? This is interesting. Lin Luoran lowers her head and says nothing. No, the Dragon Palace is not an inhibition, but a node of a different dimensional space. So Liao's ability is to break the barrier of the world? Because Liao is still talking, Lin Luoran temporarily suppresses her surprise and listens to him. Liao has no personal ability, so he can't understand the Jade map. He is very annoyed. After leaving the Dragon Palace, he wandered in the land of Huaxia and gradually learned about the world's events. He also sought for immortality and joined many schools of cultivation. Although he has no personal ability, he has a pair of eyes that can see through the truth. It is not difficult for him to find the entrance of a school of cultivation. What worries him is that he doesn't have the so-called Taoist root of Qi trainers. No matter how hard he tries, the Reiki stored in his body will slip away quietly as time goes by. Liao is not reconciled to being a handyman in a school of cultivation. He has been wandering for many years. Although he still can't solve the problem of personal ability, his ocean of consciousness is a little loose after an adventure. Although I still can't remember who I am and what happened before I fell asleep, my weak spiritual mind is just enough for me to check the jade map. When Liao talks about the past, he sighs with emotion. Although his words are simple, Lin Luoran can imagine his efforts and hardships at that time. After checking the jade map, Liao knows that the dragon race migrated together and entrusted the dragon palace to a predestined person. He has been in a school of cultivation for many years. He has changed countless identities and learned many secrets. He has also learned a skill of disguise that even cultivators can't see through. The spiritual world is the last fertile land left to earth cultivators by gods and Buddhas when they leave. Qi trainers who were not selected at that time also have a small chance to ascend to immortality. After passing the heaven's doom of the divinization period, they can be directly transmitted to the spiritual world. After Liao finishes, Lin Luoran can't help but pout. Divinization cultivators can ascend to the spiritual world and then to the heaven world? It is really an old-fashioned setting. She seems to have read something similar in a novel. Liao sees that she doesn't take it seriously. He can guess what she is thinking. Liao, you said that Danling Taoist is not a divinization cultivator. It is not nonsense. You may think that there are always brilliant cultivators in the world who can become immortals without going to the spiritual world. It is not true. The earth is no longer suitable for personal ability enhancement. In addition to the change of Reiki, the Tao of nature has gone crazy. When cultivators on the earth go through the heaven's doom, the doom cloud will go crazy. No matter how powerful your personal ability is, how many magic weapons you have, and how calm your mind is, heaven's doom either doesn't come for a long time or smashes you into ashes. Ascending to immortality in the spiritual world is not a heaven's doom, but a transmission circle set up by gods and Buddhas to guide cultivators whose personal ability is about to reach the bottleneck to the new immortal world. Lin Luoran is so absent-minded that she almost knocks over the teacup. Do you mean that if cultivators of the divinization period don't ascend to the spiritual world, they can't go through the heaven's doom even if they reach the bottleneck on the earth? In this way, even if she has space and the help of the heaven's doom, she still has a long way to go if she wants to live freely in the world in the future, right? Besides the earth, there is still the spiritual world. She can't be an immortal without going to the spiritual world. Did the cultivators of the gathering vitality period and the powerful figures of the monster race in the Tang dynasty also go to the spiritual world? A cup of tea is tasteless, and the fragrance of food comes from the kitchen. Before Liao can answer, Lin Luoran's spiritual mind has noticed the sound of horses' hooves. The guests she invites today have arrived at the manor. Lin Luoran stands up. Liao stuffs the last piece of cake into his mouth and says vaguely, "They received an edict. Someone who claims to be a true immortal will take them to a paradise for personal ability enhancement. You are also very familiar with that place. It is Penglai overseas." Chapter 485. Lin Luoran subconsciously refutes Liao's statement. She can't guarantee other places, but she has been to the Penglai immortal world in person. There are people living there. However, there are no cultivators in a country that advocates warriors. The transmission of immortals happened thousands of years ago. Mortals like to regard cultivators as immortals. If the gathering vitality seniors of the Tang dynasty went to Penglai, there will always be traces left in the mortal world unless they don't walk in the 3 countries of Penglai at all. The time doesn't match. Lin Luoran refutes Liao, but she has no time to ask in detail. The horse team coming from a distance has arrived in front of the castle. In addition to the Windsors, there is also the king's carriage. The 3 most important members of the royal family are dispatched, and the entire castle is heavily guarded. This is very different from the farewell banquet Lin Luoran expected. She doesn't bother to hide her slight displeasure. However, the king of Nami gets off the carriage and apologizes gracefully. Lin Luoran's dissatisfaction disappears in an instant. Sure enough, no matter how high her personal ability is, she is still a commoner subconsciously. Lin Luoran invites them to sit down. The life of the Nami nobles can be called extravagant. The big dining table for the banquet is long and wide. Lin Luoran doesn't use it. Even if they have a farewell banquet, they will not feel alienated from each other. In the center of the round table, there is a long-necked white porcelain vase with a half-opened peach blossom inserted in it. It is graceful but not charming. King Windsor II of Nami nods and praises it generously. Such a beautiful vase. Is it from Miss Lin's hometown? The porcelain of Huaxia was once popular throughout Europe. The appreciation in Windsor II's eyes is not necessarily false. Lin Luoran is a craftsman. She only burned these pure porcelain vases without flowers. She also likes them very much. Hearing the king asking about her hometown, Lin Luoran feels emotional. She always thinks that what she cares about is the beautiful land of the past. However, now there are only scorched earth and mutant monsters left on the earth. She still misses it so much. Even if Nami Star is picturesque and similar to the species on the earth, it is not the earth. Ma Shuangshuang and Han Weia are serving dishes. Lin Luoran introduces Colin, Ma Yiming, Liao, and Cyan Little Fox to Windsor II. Windsor II's attitude is so appropriate that people can't make mistakes. Today, they work together to cook. The dishes they cook are not limited to traditional cuisines. The recipe is provided by Xiaoji. As Zhu Jun's base, this guy has been on the earth for many years. While collecting mineral resources, it also steals a lot of information about the Huaxia civilization. The Alpha Alliance also wants to find the method of cultivation from the ancient Huaxia books. Ma Shuangshuang makes Kung Pao chicken and boiled fish. The chicken is caught in the mountains and her brother Ma Yiming goes to the river to catch the fish. The bright red color makes Judith swallow his saliva shamelessly regardless of his father's gaze. Ma Yiming is very lazy. He makes fried steak. Black pepper is not easy to find. He improves it. Although it is delicious, it has some taste which makes fried steak become a common dish. Han Weia makes Dongpa pork and West Lake fish in vinegar. These are the famous dishes of Jiangxia before the new era. The Han family's ancestral home is on the coast of Jiangxia. These two dishes are also Han Weiya's specialties. As for Colin, it is really difficult for an alien to make dumplings and steamed buns. Poor Weir. Colin is clumsy. He needs the dough all night last night. Lin Luoran mixes the dumpling fillings and steamed buns. She believes that the taste can make people ignore the irregularity of the shape. The dumpling fillings are pork cabbage, beef celery, egg chives, and fresh mushrooms and fungus. The dipping dish is made with homemade balsamic vinegar. If these are simple, then the crab roe soup dumplings are very sincere just from the process alone. Ma Yiming almost spent the whole night catching crabs by the river between the manor and the mountains last night. Crab roe is not in season. However, only female crabs with a round belly can take crab roe. There are crabs on the Nami Star, but they are too small. Lin Luoran catches a lot of them to get enough raw materials. She takes enough crab roe and stir-fry it with cooking wine, salt, and minced ginger. She beats the eggs and adds the same volume of water, a little cooking wine, vinegar, and minced ginger. After the crab roe is fried, she pours in the egg liquid. She adds brown sugar, crushed fungus, and monosodium glutamate to make the crab roe paste. Before making the steamed buns, she puts pork belly into it to make the crab roe have the soft taste of oil and gas. She also adds chopped green onion to enhance the fragrance. The food made with care is the most touching. Although the skin is irregular, when the crab roe buns are served in a small bamboo cage, even Windsor II can't help eating too. This meal is suitable for both the host and the guest. Even Liao shows respect to Lin Luoran. He puts away his wretchedness and talks happily with Windsor II. In fact, regardless of appearance, Liao, who has been in Huaxia for thousands of years, is really a very good talker. Windsor too talks about the porcelain displayed by Lin Luoren. He can tell the different characteristics of the 5 famous kills of Ru, Gu, Ding, Jun, and Guan in the Song dynasty. He can also tell how dazzling the blue and white porcelain of the Yuan dynasty is. The exquisite porcelain of the Ming dynasty is the peak of the hollowed-out craft in the Xuande period, and the pastel porcelain of the Kangxi, Yongzheng, and Qianlong period. When Windsor too talks about the mythological system of the Nami alliance, Liao vividly describes the daily life of immortals in Huaxia civilization who can move mountains and seas and drink dew. Liao with a pug nose, who has not changed his appearance, is regarded as a confidant by Windsor too with his broad knowledge. Several young people who have been familiar with Liao's true face after getting along with him for a few months secretly feel a stomachache. The hometown of Miss Lin and Mr. Liao is really attractive. Windsor too has just recovered from a serious illness. He has not gained weight for a few months, but his spirit is much better. When he says this, he is more sincere with Liao's knowledge. Lin Luoran raises her glass to Windsor too. I also hope that one day when my hometown is restored to its original appearance, you can bring the princess and the 3rd prince to the Alpha Alliance. Windsor too readily agrees. With the knowledge of the Nami royal family, the king secretly shakes his head when Lin Luoran says that her hometown is only a rank 1 member star of the Alpha Alliance. In Windsor too's view, with Lin Luoran's strength and Liao's knowledge, how can their home star only be a rank 1 member star forever? The development of the Alpha Alliance has also gone downhill in recent years. From the point of view of a talent like Lin Luoran, the ruling high-level officials of the Alpha Alliance are really short-sighted to judge her home star as a rank 1 member star. Invasion and colonization are a must for every galaxy alliance. However, material possession cannot unite the alliance. In the thousands of years of the Nami royal family's rule, they have left a lot of blood and tears experience. Windsor too is pushed by others and he is in a daze for a while. After cleaning up the dishes, Lin Luoran officially says that she wants to leave. Windsor takes advantage of the king and Liao talking happily and winks at Lin Luoran, indicating that the agreement between the two is still valid. Lin Luoran laughs and quietly gives Windsor a sorted out, the secret history of Zetian. The alliance has something in common with the feudal empires of ancient Huaxia, but it is more open-minded. What Windsor needs to learn is not the ruthlessness of Queen Zetian. Judith is very reluctant to let her go. Ma Shuangshuang comforts him. There is an old saying in our hometown that all good things must come to an end. When you are free on the Nami star, you can also come to the earth to see us. Judith remembers the coordinates Ma Shuangshuang said firmly in his heart. 3 days later, Lin Luoran takes everyone to Satellite Star 1. The Edward starship has been filled with fuel. This starship is not very luxurious, but Princess Windsor and Prince Judith come to see it off. If someone knows it, the safety factor of the Edward starship will increase a lot during its journey in the Nami Alliance. It is rare for the Heidel family to plot against the royal family openly in the Nami Alliance. After all, the Nami star has controlled the alliance for many years. Its strength is not comparable to that of a few emerging planets. It has the most advanced technology and the strongest army, which is enough to deter thieves. Seeing the Windsor siblings wave, Lin Luoran looks at the shy red-haired young man Derek. Anyway, the barbecue restaurant has been sold to you and many pepper seeds have been left for you. Derek, don't you have confidence in yourself? Derek shakes his head. Will you come back? It is late at night. Stars are scattered in the night sky like chess pieces. Lin Luoran squints and looks at the distant interstellar space. She can't answer Derek's question. Will she come back? When she finds her family one day, she will take the Lin family on an interstellar trip. However, the long life of a cultivator makes her not sure. When she passes by the Nami star again, will the red-haired young man at this time be an old man or a dead man? Lin Luoran smiles at Derek and avoids this question. They sit in the airship and slowly rise. The starship has been warmed up and started. Among the people who see them off, Judith yells and sweats while waving his hands. The old Huaxia saying often says that all good things must come to an end. Correspondingly, they will meet again if they are destined to. Lin Luoran thinks of this sentence and smiles expectantly. Chapter 486. In the year 306 of the new calendar, the 8th district of the Moonstar. Relying on a large area of crater, the 8th district is a high-end residential area of the Moonstar. Even if the artificial fountain is extremely ingenious, for people of the Earth Federation who have never seen lively mountains and rivers in the new era, it is very natural to live around the artificial lake, and the water from the fountain splashes wet their clothes from time to time in the urban square. Of course, if you have enough money, the Alpha Alliance has many planets to travel to. However, more people are born on the Moonstar and they may not have a chance to go out of the Earth Federation in their lifetime. Living in the 8th district of the Moonstar is a very good choice. On the left bank of the artificial lake, there is a house with green bricks and tiles that is out of place with the buildings in the entire 8th district. It adds a little ancientness to the steel and cement residential area. The owner's surname is Lu. He moved here from Dongting City on the Earth more than 100 years ago. He usually keeps a low profile and quietly buys land to build a house. Many people have been tempted by the house in the past 100 years. These people who have used various means finally give up. The Lu family seems to be inconspicuous, but they are definitely not easy to bully. The Moonstar has no clear 4 seasons. The side illuminated by the sun is extremely hot, while the side without the sun is very cold. The residential areas are all built in shelters. The advanced ones simulate the temperature of spring and autumn on the Earth. The temperature is pleasant. The poor residential areas occasionally have small mistakes. Hot days and cold currents can make people curse. One morning in August of the year 306 of the new calendar, there is a voice in the Lu family's mansion on the artificial lake. The master leads all family members to burn incense in front of the picture scroll enshrined in the nunnery. A new day of the Lu family finally begins. Qingdai, you stay here. I have something to say to you. The juniors leave one after another. Lu Qingdai is the favorite of the master. These brothers and sisters of the same generation have long been used to Qingdai's special status. When they were young, they would be jealous. Now they are very glad that someone can replace them to be chosen by the master. Come on with the changes of the world, who is willing to be the faithful girl selected by the family and dedicate her life to the faith of the Lu family. After all, believing in mortal heart fairy makes the Lu family secretly get many believers, especially the support from the remnants of Dongting City. Therefore, the Lu family has the strength that can't be underestimated. However, who can really touch the edge of Buddha because of their faith? If Xiao Chen had the time to worship, he might as well use it to learn martial techniques or temper his mental energy. Strength that belonged to himself would give him confidence. Could it be that just a devout belief would allow your martial skills to break through and advance, allowing you to fly in the sky and burrow underground like the legendary cultivators? What a joke! However, Lu Qingdai has a different idea from her peers in the Lu family. As the daughter of the Lu family, she has been cold since she was a child. She has been selected as a believer. She is the most devout believer among the people who worship mortal heart fairy. For more than 300 years, after experiencing turmoil, the Lu family's rules dictated that regardless of the direct or side branches, all girls had to have the surname Lu, and the direct descendants also had to have the surname Lu. Only the women from the side branches who married out, if their descendants were male, could take the surname of their husband's family. With such persistence from generation to generation, the Lu family's direct line of descent could be considered pure in terms of both bloodline and inheritance. As the believer of the Lu family, Lu Qingdai has a high status in the Lu family. In addition, her experience in Dongting City Hall and Mount June Island 5 years ago makes her more valued by the head of the family. It's been 5 years. Qingdai, there is still no news from the fairy. What do you think? A middle-aged man in a tang suit is a little fat. In fact, he is extremely talented. The Lu family refuses to be injected with gene evolution fluid. They learn Huaxia ancient martial arts. The strength of the middle-aged man has been slightly better than the rank 9 warriors classified by the Earth Federation. Lu Qingdai respectfully lowers her head, But she does not hesitate to interrupt the middle-aged man's words. Head, the Liu family has waited for 300 years. What is 5 years? In the past, the fairy announced her name above Dongting City. She already has the intention to return. She disappeared for 5 years. She must have her own considerations. The head of the family sighs because of what Mortal Heart Fairy said above Dongting City 5 years ago. In recent years, the Alpha Alliance has almost dug 3 feet deep into the earth. Whether it is the Alpha Alliance or some forces in the Federation, they can't suppress the enthusiasm of the citizens of Dongting. Believers of Mortal Heart Fairy are returning. The Liu family has been suffering for more than 100 years and can develop rapidly. The opening of Mount June Island has also been proposed by the federal parliament. At this time, he should really be full of confidence in Mortal Heart Fairy. The honor and disgrace of the Liu family have been tied to Mortal Heart Fairy for more than 300 years. After talking with the head of the family, Lu Qingdai walks on the corridor. She thinks of this point of view instilled in her since she was a child, and she agrees with it. All the way to the east, the Liu family advocates ancient style. The small courtyard with winding corridors is exquisite and simple. Lu Qingdai's room is a 2-story wooden building. From upstairs, you can see the whole view of the artificial lake. It is the best courtyard in the entire mansion of the Liu family. Behind the small building, a pond is dug and some lotus transplanted from Dongting Lake on the earth are planted. Under the temperature adjustment of the Liu family, the lotus growth cycle is normal. In August, the lotus has withered. It is a good time to pick and plant lotus heads. Lu Qingdai goes up to the 2nd floor. The ink on the rice paper spread out on the desk is still wet. It is the painting of meticulous ladies she learned to draw by copying the authentic works of her ancestors. Lu Qingdai has learned painting since she was a child. She is not very talented, but she is diligent. She has copied the authentic works of her ancestors since she was a child, and she can draw 80% of them. However, since she met Lin Luo in person 5 years ago, her painting skills have not improved but regressed. She is in a mess for a while. Compared with the picture scroll preserved more than 300 years ago, the temperament of Mortal Heart Fairy she saw has changed. When she starts to draw, the original works of the past can no longer help her improve. She has to rethink the charm of the person at the end of the brush. A breeze blows by the lake. Lu Qingdai puts down the brush and rubs her eyebrows. Since they met at the dinner party of Dongting City Hall 5 years ago, Lu Qingdai feels that there is a hazy fog in her mind. It is said that people who major in spirit power will open up the ocean of consciousness when they reach a certain level. Lu Qingdai has checked a lot of information. The fog in her eyebrows seems to be different from the so-called ocean of consciousness. First of all, she does not major in spirit power. Second, through the thick fog, she sometimes feels that she can follow the trace of Mortal Heart Fairy. It doesn't mean that she can follow Mortal Heart Fairy. She just has some emotional resonance so that she can know Mortal Heart Fairy's safety. For example, 3 years ago, she was inexplicably seriously ill. She stayed in bed for several months and they couldn't find out the reason. The Liu family was a little panicked. At that time, Mortal Heart Fairy seems to have encountered something bad. Lu Qingdai pushes the window, hoping that the morning breeze can blow away her thoughts. Is it time to pick the lotus heads? Lu Qingdai looks at the lotus heads swaying in the wind. She remembers that the master of the family has been a little angry recently. She will go to the aquatic area later to buy a carp and make soup with fresh lotus seeds. The effect should be good, right? It should be better to use crucian carp. Remember to remove the lotus core when cooking, otherwise it will be a pot of bitter soup. Lu Qingdai agrees and nods. Then she is stunned. This female voice is very familiar. Who is it? A white wrist gently picks a lotus head. The green dress is far greener than the lotus leaves in this pool. There is no blue sky in the moon. The light in the morning, afternoon, and evening is artificially simulated by the bunker. Even so, Lu Qingdai is still dazzled for a moment. The place where the woman in the green dress stands seems to have a halo expanding layer by layer. People can't look at it directly. Fairy. Lu Qingdai's eyes turn red inexplicably. Chapter 487. Lin Luoran comes so suddenly that Lu Qingdai is completely unprepared. She is in her early 30s this year. The Earth Federation encourages childbearing and early marriage. Lu Qingdai is more suitable for the identity of an old leftover woman than Lin Luoran was more than 300 years ago. Lu Qingdai lives a regular life every day, which makes her look younger than her actual age. However, her temperament has been separated from the ranks of young girls for a long time. When she sees Lin Luoran again, she can't help but cry. She doesn't cry like she did in the Dongting City Hall. "Qingdai, you did a good job." Lin Luoran holds the lotus and fiddles with her bare hands. Lu Qingdai is as good as her first believer Lu Gung. Lin Luoran is a little surprised. After 3 years, as a gathering vitality cultivator with a divine title, Lin Luoran has learned a lot of common sense. After all, being a devout believer is not just an empty title. She can do much more than what she is doing now. The lotus in Lin Luoran's hand exudes the unique fragrance of plants. She is about to tell Lu Qingdai what she is here for. However, her spiritual mind notices something unusual. "You have a guest." Lin Luoran blinks at her. Lu Qingdai is a little flustered. What happens in the next quarter of an hour is unforgettable. Cousin, are you there?" It is the voice of her little cousin outside the small courtyard. She has a lively personality and seldom practices politeness. As soon as she pushes the door in, she can see Lin Luoran standing by the lotus pond. Lu Qingdai subconsciously refuses to see Mortal Heart Fairy at this time. If the fairy wants to show up in public, how can she only come to her yard? Lin Luoran is not in a hurry. Until Lu Qingwu's skirt has flashed in the corridor, Lu Qingdai's heart is in her throat. Lin Luoran steps on the ground and floats into the room on the second floor through the window. The arrival of Lu Qingwu and the disappearance of Lin Luoran are only a few seconds apart. Lu Qingdai's heart is stretched to the extreme. Fortunately, Lu Qingwu doesn't seem to see it. "Cousin, please promise me one thing first, okay?" Lu Qingwu comes up and pulls Lu Qingdai's sleeve and shakes it. Lu Qingdai is dizzy because of her shaking. Coupled with the previous nervousness, she agrees dizzily. Lu Qingwu happily takes her upstairs. Seeing her cousin stepping into the study where Lin Luoran disappears, Lu Qingdai's eyes suddenly jump. "Tell me, what do you want?" Lu Qingwu's eyes rolled around the study. On her eldest cousin's sister's bookshelf, those paper books protected by tempered glass had been passed down from more than 300 years ago. They were true ancient books. "Don't worry, I'm not here for your precious ancient books." Lu Qingwu's gaze fell on the desk. She took a few steps forward and clicked her tongue. "Eldest cousin sister, is this your new painting?" "Your painting is really good. Can you lend me your painting?" Lu Qingdai breathes a sigh of relief as long as he doesn't borrow original art. When Qingwu looks around the study, she is also observing quietly. She doesn't find anything unusual. She doesn't know where Mortal Heart Fairy is, which makes her worried. Although her new meticulous painting of a lady is quite good, Lu Qingdai, who has just seen a true immortal, still knows what to do in order to get rid of her cousin. "Wait a minute, I'll get a box to store the painting." Lu Qingwu doesn't refuse. Lu Qingdai finds a box under the desk. Lu Qingwu is comparing the difference between her cousin's painting and the ancestor's masterpiece. Her eyes are not here. Qingdai sees that the ink has dried and is about to roll up the rice paper. Suddenly, she finds that the ink has just dried. Her eyes are watery and she flutters her eyelashes at her. The peaceful corners of her mouth also make a smile. Mortal Heart Fairy comes back to life? Ba, what comes back to life? Lu Qingdai wakes up. It is clear that Mortal Heart Fairy is in this painting at the moment. The immortal's trick makes the box in Qingdai's hand fall to the ground. Lu Qingwu turns her head in surprise. "Eldest cousin, what's wrong?" "No, nothing. By the way, Qingwu, what do you want the fairy painting for?" She can't give this painting to her cousin. Lu Qingdai blocks her cousin's sight and changes the topic. Lu Qingwu hesitates for a while. After her cousin repeatedly promises that she will not be angry, she tells her the reason. Lu Qingwu has a lively temperament. To put it bluntly, she is flamboyant. She and several playboys in the 8th district love and hate each other. They usually show off their wealth to each other. They provoke her with words. They say that Lu Qingwu is not favored at home and she can't take out the famous fairy painting of Lu Xinyo's authentic work preserved from before the new era. Lu Qingwu retorts, saying that her cousin's random painting is enough for playboys who are also learning Huaxia ancient art to admire. How can she take out the authentic work of her ancestor? After hearing this, Lu Qingdai secretly shakes her head for her little cousin's unreliability. However, she can't take out the painting on the desk at this time. She has to make Qingwu happy today. Lu Qingdai finds a good dust-proof and moisture-proof box. She carefully rolls up Lu Xinyo's authentic work and hands it to Lu Qingwu, who is in a daze. My cousin is not good at learning. I'm afraid that she will disgrace the reputation of our ancestors. You have to take care of this authentic work. There are only a few authentic works in the hands of the Lu family. They are extremely precious. Lu Qingwu is shocked by the sudden pie on her head. She takes over the box timidly. After confirming that her cousin really lends her the authentic fairy painting of their ancestor, the little girl hugs Lu Qingdai and kisses her hard. You are our sister. She holds the box in her arms. Fearing that Lu Qingdai will regret, she runs away like a gust of wind. Lu Qingdai's worried heart returns to its original position. She learns to be smart and locks the door and window of the study completely. Then she respectfully calls the painting fairy. With a flash of hazy colorful light, Lin Luoran walks out of the painting with her clothes fluttering. Lu Qingdai is surprised and happy. She doesn't know how amazing the fairy spell is. Except for immortals, who can hide in the thin painting paper and perfectly integrate with the meticulous ladies in the painting. Seeing her look, Lin Luoran can probably guess what she is thinking. It is good for believers to be devout. Naturally, Lin Luoran will not deliberately explain that this is actually just a practical little art of nature. It is far from the fairy spell that can change the world. Lin Luoran is very satisfied with this believer. She should be the best candidate for Oracle. In order to get more power of faith to support her plan, Lin Luoran needs a spokesperson to walk in the world. In addition to spreading faith, this kind of messenger who acts on behalf of the gods is difficult to convince the public without real ability. After years of development, the Lu family has already had the reputation of being an oracle. What they lack is only strength. Lu Qingdai, are you willing to worship me for the rest of your life and never betray your faith, whether you will be as bright as stars or as faint as fluorescent light in the future? Lu Qingdai vaguely feels that her choice is closely related to her future destiny. However, as the believer of the Lu family, Lu Qingdai has been instilled with the idea that one day when mortal heart fairy comes to the world again, she can do her best. The so-called most devout believer has faith engraved in her bone. She is willing to work for the immortals she believes in all her life even without any reward. Many thoughts pass through Lu Qingdai's mind. She can't help kneeling and kowtowing respectfully. I am willing. Lu Qingdai, for your sincerity, I will grant you the position of oracle. You will walk in the world for me, help weak believers, suffering creatures, and spread miracles. Are you willing? I am willing. When Lu Qingdai agrees and says, I am willing, the line of faith connected 5 years ago becomes a broad road. From this moment on, her life is bound to Lin Luoran's. If Lin Luoran lives, she will live to the end of her life safely. If Lin Luoran dies, she will die suddenly. Being trusted like this, Lin Luoran can feel a heavy sense of responsibility. Of course, the duty of a god is not only to take. Fire Phoenix said that there is a kind of blessing spell between gods and the most devout believers. It is similar to the holy spell that Buddhist cultivators use after accumulating merit and faith. However, Lin Luoran's godhead has been condensed for a short time and her holy seal is not strong enough. She can't spread the power of faith for believers to understand by themselves. Only such a one-to-one blessing can produce the same effect. The position of oracle is full of hardships. You can only experience it in the future. Today, I give you 3 spells of my life as a response to your devout faith. Lu Qingdai raises her head when she hears this. 3 spells? Lin Luoran condenses a light spot on her fingertips and flicks it into the fog between Lu Qingdai's eyebrows. The first spell is the listening spell. You can listen to the heart sounds of spiritual things in the world. The second spell is the true sight spell. You can see through the falsehood of the world and see the truth directly. The third spell is the thunder punishment spell. You can punish evil and protect yourself. 3 light spots sink in one after another. The fog between Lu Qingdai's eyebrows becomes colorful for a moment. What happens to her is so magical. The impact of the blessing makes Lu Qingdai faint directly under the huge stimulation. Closing her eyes, she vaguely hears Lin Luoran's ethereal voice. Knives can save people and also kill people. You have mastered the power that ordinary people can't get. I hope you can take care of yourself and don't kill people. Her head hurts so much. Many things are forced into her head. Lu Qingdai holds her forehead and wakes up. It turns out that she is still sleeping on the cold floor. Night has fallen. For a moment, she wonders if the mortal heart fairy she saw during the day is just her illusion. However, the fog between her eyebrows has been opened. 3 light spots are floating in it. Lu Qingdai remembers what Lin Luoran said and the 3 spells of the holy spell. Thunder punishment? She is a little hesitant in her words. The light spot representing the thunder punishment spell rushes to her fingertips in an instant. Feeling the trembling of her fingertips, Lu Qingdai's body can't help but tremble. A strong impulse to use her strength makes her raise her finger and point to the lotus pond outside the window. Following her intuition, she says 2 words firmly, thunder punishment. Chapter 488. The alarm of the Lu family's mansion is triggered. Lu Qingdai wakes up with the holy spell. Even if the effect is only 1% of Lin Luoran's, with the expansion of Lu Qingdai's ocean of consciousness and the growth of her own strength, her physique will be improved if she can have 1/10 of Lin Luoran's strength in her lifetime. Prolonging her lifespan will be a piece of cake. The strange thing that happens to Lu Qingdai is the thunder that shakes the entire Lu family's mansion. It is the first time for her to trigger it. She can't control the power and the white mist in her ocean of consciousness is almost emptied. The holy spell is not a spell or a spell of arts of nature. Its driving force is the power of faith. The mist in Lu Qingdai's ocean of consciousness is the feedback of the power of faith generated by her years of worship. It will take some time for Lu Qingdai to realize these things. The important thing at hand is that the master of the Lu family decisively blocks the news after listening to Lu Qingdai's narration. The Lu family has an oracle who can act as a deity. The master is excited about this news. The Lu family's belief for many years has been recognized by the true God. He can't wait to drag Lu Qingdai to some self-proclaimed progressive leftists who completely deny Huaxia's personal ability enhancement and Huaxia legends. He wants to let them know that the Lu family has not been crazy for so many years. However, the master blocks the news as soon as possible. Mortal Heart Fairy has returned and granted Qingdai the title of Oracle. Obviously, she doesn't want the Lu family to continue to keep a low profile. The Lu family's opportunity has come. And, Oracle, Qingdai needs to make a stunning appearance after building momentum. That will be the best time to gather believers. The Lu family is valued by Mortal Heart Fairy, so they have to show their corresponding ability. The 8th district of the Moonstar. Opposite the direction of the artificial lake, in the east of the 8th district, there are old mansions. Among the elevator apartments, the villas occupying the high ground are magnificent. It is the earliest rich area in the entire 8th district. The Han family, an interstellar merchant, occupies several houses in the villa group. The branches of the Han family surround and guard each other. Han Kueisheng's only daughter, Han Weiya, has been missing for 5 years. In the year 306 of the new calendar, the traces of Miss Zero in this family are getting weaker and weaker. Many people have forgotten the heir who wears a veil all day long and seems to be indifferent and eccentric in the eyes of outsiders. In other words, some of them hope that Han Weiya will never come back. Where there are people, there are fights. The Han family is not united. What makes Han Weya an eyesore is that she is not only the legitimate heir of the Han family but also the only daughter of Han Kuei, the only heir. As long as Han Weiya's death is confirmed, even as the head of the family, Han Kuei-shing has to comply with the wishes of the family and choose a new heir from the collateral branch. Han Weiya is a girl. After she was born, her mother died early and Han Kuei-shing made it clear that he would not marry again. There are many people who want to kill her. She was bitten by a violent monster when she was a child. If Goblin is a natural disaster, then all kinds of arrangements to lure her are man-made disasters. Today's Han family head's villa was destined to be extraordinary. Han Kuei-shing looked at the servants who were busy decorating the living room, his face livid. There were a few members of the branch family who were very active. They shuttled back and forth in the Han family's main residence and took the initiative to help decorate the venue. The ambition on their faces was so obvious that they could not hide it at all. This made Han Kuei-shing in an extremely bad mood. In fact, he was not an old-fashioned person. He didn't think that the future of the Han family could only be controlled by the lineal descendants. To be honest, he didn't want his daughter to shoulder such a heavy burden. Anyway, with the wealth of the Han family, as long as Han Weya didn't lose her mind and collect starships like luxury cars, she could never spend it all in her life. What made him unhappy was that the ambition of the family was not comparable to the ability. None of the most active members of the branch family had the potential to become the heir. And tonight's dinner was said to be a family get-together, but it was actually to force him to put the election of the heir on the agenda. These people were not destined to be the crown prince, but they got the disease of being the crown prince. Han Kuei-shing's face was gloomy. He didn't show any kindness to these people who secretly cursed his daughter's safety. He didn't know how Wei was doing. That girl was really heartless. She didn't contact her family for 5 years. Achoo! The Edward is parked in the passenger ship area of the 8th district of Moonstar. Han Weya, who was nagged, sneezed. Looking at the big and small bags in front of her, Han Weya rubbed her red eyes. She felt a little shy when she was close to home. She was only 16 years old when she left home willfully. When she set foot on the land of Moonstar again, she was already 21 years old. 5 years was enough for a young girl to become beautiful and charming. Shuang Shuang, do you think my father can still recognize me if I stand in front of him? Han Weya touched her face. She was once possessed by the goblin. She was so ugly that people didn't dare to look at her directly. Girls changed a lot when they grew up. After driving away the goblin, her facial features opened up again. She was worried that Mr. Han at home couldn't help her. Ma Shuang is half a head taller than Han Weya. Her eyes are big and full of mist all year round. Only when talking about common sense of personal ability enhancement will she be very smart. Usually, she can form a confused pair with Han Weya. Don't worry. The blood relationship can't be cut off. Your father can recognize you even with his eyes closed. Come and try this dress. Aunt Lin said that if you don't dress up, your father can't tell how much you have suffered outside. Han Weya was angry. Aunt Lin clearly said that it was a girl's first social appearance and it was worth dressing up carefully, okay? However, brushing the soft satin dress in her hands, Han Weya thinks for a while. Since she was disfigured, she really hasn't appeared in public, right? Coincidentally, tonight is the traditional day of the Han family. There will definitely be a gorgeous dinner party. Humph, who has the patience to attend a banquet? If she had the time, she would rather play with herbs. Han Weya fiddled with the porcelain bottle in her hand, a little absent-minded. With the relationship between that person and her father, he should be invited, right? 5 years passed in the blink of an eye. If she could see him again, it would be a good choice to force herself to attend the banquet. She is also looking forward to her appearance in the evening. Aunt Lin is right. She should make a stunning appearance. Seeing that Han Weya is absent-minded, Ma Shuang's misty eyes are more depressed. Her friend obviously has a sweetheart. Who could it be? She has been thinking about it for 5 years. On the Yamen planet, which is close to the Caesar star, there is a most ordinary grocery store. It has the most common agricultural products of the Caesar star and rare specialties of remote planets of the Alliance. Although it is small, it is all-inclusive. The things inside look much more sincere than the appearance of the grocery store. However, under the cover of this ordinary grocery store, it is a contact point of the Weir family of the Caesar star. The family members who know the existence of the grocery store are all direct relatives. For example, a noble child who has been confirmed to have died in the line of duty for 5 years suddenly appears in front of the person in charge, which is enough to make people wipe their cold sweat countless times. After talking for a while, the frowning eyebrows of the person in charge of the contact point gradually relax. The short and fat businessman even squeezes out a smile. "Master Colin, the news of your return?" The person who died in the line of duty has come back to life again. The Weir family must have a unified statement, right? Colin Weir, who is crossing his legs, peels a pistachio and chews it in his mouth. "Don't worry. It is not the time to make it public. Before we have the strength, we can't slap the Alliance in the face, can we?" The contact person says yes. Colin Weir suddenly flicks the pistachio shell in his hand. A fly is nailed to the door. Colin Weir's eyes flash. "Your store should be cleaned." "Clean what?" The contact person opens the door and sees that the only worker in the store has fainted by the door. He immediately realizes that Colin Weir is talking about cleaning the staff around him. Is there a spy in the contact point? The short and plump liaison officer was sweating profusely, and it was not an act at all. Colin Weir pats him on the shoulder to comfort him. "Remember to say hello to the patriarch for me." "Master Colin Weir, where are you going?" Colin Weir takes a handful of pine nuts in the store and walks while chewing. "The Earth. There will be a big play on the Earth soon. As an important actor, Colin Weir is still looking forward to his stunning appearance. Lynn Luoran doesn't use the listening spell on the master of the Lu family. She can't guess his idea of maximizing benefits. The scenes that happen in different places at the same time all indicate that Lynn Luoran is going to make a big move. Returning from the Nami Star to the Alpha Alliance Star territory, Lynn Luoran holds the fake Nami Alliance ID card issued by the royal family for them. The Edward starship also changes its appearance. Their return journey is not delayed by avoiding the interrogation of the Alpha Alliance. 2 years of time was not spent on sailing. She has seen many planetary civilizations with different customs on the way. She has also spent countless time in space to figure out and learn the arts of nature supported by the meta of a gathering vitality cultivator, as well as the seemingly useless but infinitely useful holy spells. 5 years ago, Lynn Luoran was a little embarrassed to wander in the interstellar space. She no longer fights unprepared battles. Lynn Luoran is already a qualified gathering vitality cultivator. In addition to confidence, Lynn Luoran finally has the strength to match her confidence. She can return to the Alpha Alliance above board and return to her beloved home star. Chapter 489. Han's Family Dinner. It's an interstellar merchant family. Of course, the annual family gathering can't be shabby. People come and go in the Han family. Those who can come back are close friends. The wine is fragrant. It's a grand event on the Upper East Side. When they are drunk, a few members of the collateral branch instigate them to mention the old things again. Han Kuei-sheng looks unhappy. These people have some tricks. They invite a powerful senior official in the 8th district to show up. His words are very critical of the Han family's behavior, suggesting that the Han family should have an heir as soon as possible. This senior official is indeed a white man. Han Kuei-sheng casually socializes with him. He is annoyed by this man's arrogant look. He thinks they are still before the new era. His words are full of racial discrimination. Han Kuei-sheng really wants to throw this white official out of the Han family. However, his old friend who he invited earlier doesn't show up for some reason. That person has been successful in his career in recent years. Han Kuei-sheng doesn't have much hope for him to attend the Han family's party. However, at this time, he still hopes that some heavenly soldiers will come from the sky to help him drive away this white official who doesn't know how to read people's feelings. guests are here. Send 200-year-old ginseng, 200-year-old sealwort, 2 jars of spirit wine, and 2 deep-sea corals. The MC shouts, which makes the Han family surprised. It's hard to buy real elixirs with money these days. Who is so generous? Even the white official feels that it's worthwhile to come here today when he hears the so-called 100-year-old ginseng and sealwort. He is a little overjoyed and decides to talk to Han Kuei-shing after the party is over. Han Kuei-shing is confused. Except for Mr. Pang, his close friends are all here. Old Pang is not such a person. Who sent such a valuable gift? The young MC in a tuxedo can't help but secretly look at the guests around him. She is beautiful, but her refined temperament makes people dare not to blaspheme her. Since the Dongting incident 5 years ago, many people in the Earth Federation have embraced the ancient style of huaxia. They imitate the ancients to learn the 6 arts and wear ancient costumes. There are also many retro costumes on the streets of the 8th district of Moonstar. However, the MC has never seen anyone wearing Han clothes so elegantly. She is a young beauty in a loose robe with long sleeves and a long skirt. She moves gracefully. A faint fragrance of flowers and plants wafts into people's nostrils. She is simple and elegant. Her gift was too expensive, and the master of ceremonies was not sure of her identity, so he called her a guest. Han Weiya has been with Lin Luoran for a long time, and she has traveled all the way. She has seen much more than before. She just wants to give Mr. Han a surprise, so she deliberately gives him a mysterious gift. In her eyes, the gift is very ordinary, but in the eyes of ordinary people, it is a good thing that money can't buy. Thus, as soon as she carried the gift box inside, she had already aroused the curiosity of all the guests present before she even arrived. Everyone stares at the door. Han Weiya's purple dress is so attractive that the unmarried male guests are dazzled and amazed. Even the narrow-minded female guests have jealousy in their eyes, but they have to admit that the young woman in the purple Han costume is so beautiful that it makes people feel ashamed. Han Kuei-shing has been staring at Han Weiya since she entered the door. The father and daughter have been dependent on each other for many years. The bond of blood makes him suspicious. However, Han Weiya was only 16 years old when she left the earth. Because her face was ruined, she wore a veil all year round and she didn't grow up. The girl in front of him is so much like his daughter. However, both her appearance and temperament are totally different from his memory. After 5 years, his father has aged a little. Han Weiya has completely forgotten the beautiful thoughts she had before she came here. She has no mood to care whether the other person she expected in the venue is here or not. Looking at Han Kuei-shing's weathered face, tears flow down her cheeks like a faucet forgotten to turn off. Wei? Han Weiya nods and throws herself into Han Kuei-shing's arms. Dad, I miss you. All the scenes Han Kuei-shing had imagined can't compare to this, Dad. The slippery businessman holds his daughter and doesn't know what to do. Thousands of feelings come into his heart at the same time. What? Is that Han Weiya? There is a buzz in the venue. Some members of the Han family who have bad intentions only feel that they have been hit hard by someone. They are so angry that they vomit blood. However, they have to rush forward to show their loyalty and congratulate Han Kuei-shing and his daughter on their reunion. Han Weiya's sudden appearance amazes the single male guests and frightens the unruly clansmen. This party of the Han family is really a happy one and a sad one. At the same time, in an office in the 8th district, Mr. Pang has just finished a large number of documents on his desk. He looks up at the time and pats his forehead. He is so busy that he even forgets Han Kuei-shing's invitation. He doesn't know if he can catch up with Han Kuei-shing now. Mr. Pang stands up and tidies up his clothes. He is about to call the secretary in. The secretary has been working for him for 7 or 8 years and has become more and more stable. She opens the office door breathlessly. Mr. Pang, she is back. Mr. Pang can't tell whether he is happy or sad. He washes his face and asks, "Who is back?" The secretary steadies her breath. Han Weiya, who disappeared with that man 5 years ago. Mr. Pang's towel falls into the basin. He wants to leave immediately, but years of political career calms him down. Mr. Pang gradually smiles. Except for Han Weiya, is there any other abnormalities in the 8th district today? The secretary thinks for a while and tells him the strange thing that the Lu family's mansion by the artificial lake was struck by lightning this evening. Mr. Pang lowers his head and smiles widely. No wonder that man transferred him to the 8th district. There are 2 families here who are related to Mortal Heart Fairy. Sure enough, they can get the news the fastest. Since there is news, it is time for him to move his position, right? Pang Xinzhong sends the news here. This time, he won't miss it by accident, right? Lu Qingdai soon receives Lin Luoran's voice. On the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, on the traditional Mid-Autumn Festival of Huaxia, there will be a Miaoyin spell conference on Mount June. What Lu Qingdai can do is to spread this news as much as possible throughout the Federation and encourage believers to go to Mount June on that day. Even if the island can't fit all the believers, they should gather in Dongting City. Miaoyin Spell Conference? Just from the name, does Mortal Heart Fairy want to preach Taoism? Lu Qingdai naturally doesn't refuse. After seeing Lu Qingdai's ability, the entire Lu family, who originally disapproved of the family's purpose, also acts quickly as if they have been injected with chicken blood. Of course, it is unknown whether they suddenly change their nature or they are greedy for the so-called holy spell. Gathering all believers will be a grand event. In the new era, the Earth Federation still strictly controls the flow of citizens. How to make thousands of people believe in the Lu family and how to make them pass the approval smoothly and gather near Mount June Island is not a simple thing. As an oracle, Lu Qingdai has to cooperate with the plan of the Lu family's think tank. Through premeditated coincidences, she shows her magical ability. She promotes the Miaoyin Spell Conference by creating momentum. Coincidentally, the location of the spell conference is Mount June. The Alpha Alliance has never given up catching Lin Luoran, the last female cultivator. In short, as soon as the news is released, there is an undercurrent surging. The Lu family's mansion works day and night. Spies come in batches one after another. They use micro-monitoring devices. The Lu family is completely exposed to some forces. One day, Lu Qingdai comes back. She is tired and she has to prevent being monitored. Even people will get angry, not to mention the young lady of the Lu family who has been spoiled since she was a child. Lu Qingdai ignores the persuasion of the head of the family. She uses the spell of true sight to find countless surveillance devices outside the Lu family's mansion. She doesn't even let a fly go. This afternoon, there is endless thunder outside the Lu family's mansion. When Lu Qingdai is exhausted, the entire Lu family finally gets privacy again. The Alpha Alliance and some left-wing forces of the Earth Federation hate Lu Qingdai so much. They can't wait to catch Lu Qingdai and interrogate her 100 times. However, they don't want to alert the enemy, so they hold back their anger and wait to catch Lin Luoran. It is easy to fish in troubled waters. Under many undercurrents, there is a low-key but powerful force quietly adding firewood to the momentum of the Lu family. The Miaoyin Spell Conference is not only publicized to all people in the Earth Federation, but also many people in the Alpha Alliance are curious. For a while, people gather from various planets. The number of people preparing to go to Dongting on the Earth has reached an astonishing number. The new mayor of Dongting City after Mr. Pang is both worried and happy. It is very difficult for the infrastructure of Dongting to accommodate so many people at the same time. He is happy because as long as he can handle this high-profile Miaoyin Spell Conference well, it will also be a political achievement. Time is approaching. Where is Lin Luoran who causes all this? In the old house of the Ma family by Dongting Lake, there are no vegetables in the past 5 years. The weeds are knee-high. The 2 big trees in the courtyard are lush without thinning. It is September and they are full of gourd-shaped fruits. Anyway, the owner of this house is not here. Some residents in the community like to walk here and take some fruits home to eat. Today, several old ladies walk to the Ma family's villa again. They find something unusual before they do anything. A green rope flies up and rolls down a fruit. Some people are whispering under the dense branches. They seem to be surprised by the taste of the gourd fruit. Although the voice is low, it really comes from the yard with the closed iron gate. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.